All right, all right, all right. I think I am live. Hello, hello. I think this thing is on. Let me make sure. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, okay. That probably got really loud. Sorry about that. And when the little green line wasn't flowing like it normally does, but hopefully you guys can hear me all right. And welcome. Can you believe it's Thursday already? Zoom, zoom, zoom. Hope you guys are having a great week, enjoying the amazing moments. So thank you for being here. We're going to dive in and start off, of course, bringing in some beautiful love energy first through the singing bowl. We'll start off by taking a big, deep breath and come out of the chaos of the outside world, out of the future, out of the past, and just be here now with each other and the creator and a great host of beings. So we'll take a big, deep breath before we start. And I'll hit the singing bowl 3 times. And as we're doing that, you can just imagine that beautiful, eternal, unconditional love of the other realm, the higher realm, higher vibrational realm. Just allow that energy to flow into us, fill us up, both in our mental body, our emotional body, our energetic body, our physical bodies, our lives, and then flowing out to the world, allowing it to do what it wants to do out there to help raise the vibration of the collective. As I say, something that we can do in this moment is think of one thing that we're grateful for and just thank the creator for it. That immediately begins to raise our love vibration, also puts us into this beautiful receiving mode, like we're a giant cup. Allows us to receive messages from spirit. Also, the things that we're grateful for, it makes them more easily drawn in for us as well. So let us begin. We'll start off by taking a big deep breath and come back to this moment. Come back to the now, right? All right. So you can hold it for as long as you'd like, whatever feels comfortable for you. So we'll start. Big deep breath in. Beautiful. All right, let's begin. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me in doing that. Let's put her back on her little perch back here, her little throne. So thank you guys so much for being here. Hope you're having a blast. So hey everybody, hey. Hey Shanji. I got Cat Goddess here too, and Alice. Toucho Love, Tashi Singh, Musical Beer. Thank you guys so much for being here. Grateful. Like I said, hope you're enjoying all this energy. Welcome to fall. Autumn season has officially kicked in, right? So hopefully you're enjoying this. I don't know, just feels like could nap all week energy, right? I don't know if you guys are feeling that, and bizarre dreams, even more than usual. So definitely some good energies going on around there. So welcome. If you're new to my channel or new to these readings, welcome. I'm Brudda-zen, and we got a great group of Zen friends with huge hearts and luckily great senses of humor. Those are two things that I always say can help us on our little adventures as humans here. So there's always room for more Zen friends. So welcome. If you want to know how the whole process works, it's all down in the description box of the video down below. Donations do get priority. Free readings are generally 1 to 2 cards, but for donations, we do dive deeper, get into the nosy reads, as some people say. Get into the tea factory, the Brudda-zen's tea factory, or some of them say third eye, private eye. We'll get in more details. If you want to make a donation, you can use the super chat at the bottom or in the description box of the video. We do have the Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and Square. Don't have any set dollar amounts. Whatever you give from your heart is the perfect amount. As I know everyone's finances vary and cost of living is different across the entire world. The rate of exchange from country to country is different. So whatever you give from your heart is perfect. And tonight, if you make a donation, 1 per person per entire session. So if you make multiple donations, you do just get 1 fortune cookie. We are pulling from the Seasons of the Witch, Mabon or Mabon. I'm probably mispronouncing that. That's the another name for the autumn equinox. It's a celebration, but we have all of this deck here that we'll be pulling from. What a beautiful orange, right? Getting ready for Halloween. Yeah. And then I'll also be using the Wild Root Tarot this evening. Beautiful deck. So we'll be using that. At the end of each session, I do post a pinned comment listing the order of all the readings I completed with timestamps so that you can just click on that. It'll take it right to your reading. And wanted to make sure everyone knows, last week I did post an intro video for my new podcast series called The Easier Path. And in Brudda-zen style, I like to give things away. So we do have this, if you click on, or if you have gone to that, but if you click on it, I have the link here. All this is in the description box of this video too, for ease of use. But if you click on there and go to the actual intro video, watch it, and then if you comment on it, something that you're grateful for either now or in the past, then on October 1st, I'll have a drawing for at least 1 free personal recorded reading. I'll also give you the option of a hedge of peace and love if you want that. And I'll have at least 1 winner, but it depends on how many people participate. I could always pull more. And then also for the rest of September, which is only a few days. Can you believe it? We're at the end of September already. Crazy. Also through October, I'm going to have discounted prices on my 15-minute personal recorded reading and my 30-minute personal recorded reading. $7.77 for the 15 and $15.15 for the 30-minute. Again, all that's down in the description box if you want to check that out. I just like to make sure everyone knows of any contest or drawings or specials, just in case. So never any pressure, just information. All right. So I think that is everything I wanted to talk about. All right. So let me get into real quick here the donations and let you guys know where we're at on that. So I just had another one that was coming through. Here it is. All right. Sorry, I crunched my last of my cough drop here. Right. So we do have Marissa will be up first. So Marissa, if you're here, do you hear the crunching? It's like crunching on ice. It gets down to a certain point. I just can't like. I did the same thing with certs. Back in the day, certs were very popular. I couldn't like wait for them to all be completely done. I had to crunch it and eat it. I don't know what it is. All right. We'd have Marissa and then Alice. And then, let's see here. And then Sean G. And then let me check timestamps here. And then we have, hey, Deb. Here up after that. And then I got two that came in here. Hey, Marissa. Yeah, how many looks to get to the center of the lollipop? Right? 1, 2, 3. I do the same thing with suckers too. It's like, all right, must not be a patient person. All right, and then Pretty. I think you go by a different name, and it's not in my head right now. Yeah, I do with the owl. Hey, Mr. Owl, because owls are wise, right? How many licks does it take to get to the center? Let me find out. The Gemini, that's right. I'm so sorry. So, how could I forget that? So, and then the Gemini times 2. I see your 2 via Zcash app. So, all right. So, hey, Marissa. So, Marissa's typing her question up. Let's get these cards a rolling. We'll take a sip. I'm having some nice chamomile and lemon tea. Yum, yum. So, cheers, everyone. Get the pipes all geared up here. And we will jump in. So, I don't know if you guys are feeling all this energy from this week. I saw a video from an astrologer, and they were saying that the energy of the equinoxes can really suck the life out of us a little bit because of the changes in the amount of sunlight, and we can start to feel and that's been this week. I was so geared up to try to get my new first episode of my podcast out this week, but there's been all this fun stuff that I'm just like, all right, I'll follow spirit's energy. If it's not there, you don't want to push it, right? All right. So if you guys are experiencing that too, you're not alone. And bizarre dreams. Very, not like the other dreams before when we're at the height of the eclipses, felt like old stuff coming in. This is just weird, bizarre. Like, what am I doing driving a truck? Like I was driving a U-Haul truck for a living, and I'm like, am I moving? No, shh, I'm not. But maybe in a different way, right? Maybe that's about my podcast, the desire to move forward and come on, get in the truck and let's go. All right, so let's get started. Enough of that. Thank you guys again for being here and for all the thumbs up. I'm so grateful. All right, 1414. There we go, Marissa. We're starting for your reading. Look at that. Starting off with double numbers. So you're planning to meet up with this guy named Earl, a Pisces man. You've been crushing on each other, but nothing came of it. Will Earl and I finally meet? Did you ever, what was it? This is my brother Earl and my other brother Earl. It was a Bob Newhart show or something way back in the day. Do they have a brother named Earl too? Let's take a look. So let's take a look here, Marissa. Thank you again for your donation via Zcash app. So will you and Earl finally meet? Based on current energies, tell us about Marissa and Earl, please. Thank you. We got this. We got these. We got this and this. All right. What else do you need to know about Earl, right? Okay. Need to scooch these around here in the order. So the bottom of the deck, you do have the King of Bows, the Adder, King of Bows is King of Wands in the Standard Tarot. King of Wands is action energy. So I do feel like there is movement here. Sometimes with the King of Wands, I'll get like an energy of it. We're trying to decide, we're putting a plan together, clearing the throne room because I want to be true to myself and do what I want to do and put action and move forward. And sometimes I'll get an energy of like, I'm trying to determine what it is I want, but I'm not getting that today. So I do feel like there's this energy here of movement forward. So I do feel like there is action that is going to be coming forward. That's the bottom of the deck. Let's see what else we have here. You've got the 9 of vessels, the 9 of arrows. So 9 of cups and 9 of swords. What a combination, right? Arrows. Yeah, arrows or swords in this deck. So these two nines, which I like this for you because the 9 is a hermit's energy and it's the alone energy. It's the determining like what I'm wanting. Um, it's like the period of time where I'm spending time alone, finding out what I'm wanting, looking at my fears, my expectations of the dream come true with the 9 of cups energy. So both of these 9 energies, and I feel like they're talking about the time that you guys have had when nothing came of it was because it wasn't a good time for that, because there would have been like maybe too many expectations, too many. It's like you guys were gaining clarity around what you both individually wanted, and that period of time allowed you guys to experience other people, you know, maybe some, I call them, what do I call them? It's I call them false starts, like a, or what do they call sparklers? You know, where on the Fourth of July, you light a sparkler. Psh, oh, look at how pretty! Psh, and then it's gone. That's kind of what I'm talking about. Like you guys have had some of those each, where you're like, yeah, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. And you just a lot of clarity has come in the meantime. You'd have the Queen of Arrows, yeah, which is the balance between the head and the heart. So I really like that energy that does represent a bit, because the Queen of Arrows, the Queen of Swords, she can get too much into her head. But all the queens get a second portion of cups behind the scenes, which is this energy of like getting that draw from the heart, and so there's this beautiful balance. And I feel like that's what's happened here. And why something didn't happen before, because it was meant for this balance to come in for both of you, right? So I like that. Let's see what else we have here. You've got the Woodward, which is the Justice card, and the Stag. Yeah, I love this. You've got both 11 and 8. It's usually the Justice card and the Strength card, and those can be exchanged. Like, and in this case, it is. You can kind of see here. This is more the Strength card. Normally has a lion and a person in it, and then the Justice card normally has a sword with balancing kind of scales. Well, they originally were this, and then somewhere in tarot history and evolution, someone swapped it. I don't know why. I forgot. I read it somewhere, but it's not important, because it's all about that seeing different perspectives, a change of energy. And this is almost like going back to basics and rediscovering who we both are. And I like that. So seeing things differently and understanding that in some things you guys will see things differently, but it don't matter. What matters is that the energy of balance exists, and the energy of Leo, energy of the finding your inner strength with the Strength card, which is normally the 8 and the 11. This time it's the 8 and 11. But it doesn't matter what the number is on them. It's that they both exist and there's meaning. So it's getting beyond the, nitpicky, whatever, and just going with the intent, right? So I love that. Underneath those, we do have the Blasted Oak. Yeah, the Tower card coming in here. And I like this. And this does say here are three major arcana. This is the Tower card. It also allowed you guys time to let go of some old ways of thinking, to lighten up about things on both ends. And I like this. So I feel like all of this was telling you why things didn't happen before, and the King of Wands is telling you that it is. And then you have two more cards left here. Yeah, you have the Two of Stones, the Two of Pentacles, little happy rabbits. Whoa. And the Page of Arrows, the Page of Swords, which is a lot of clarity and new communication that's coming in here, heightened communication, and the balance again with the Two of Pentacles, the Two of Stones. And I just feel like this is, again, the energy is different. No surprise, right? It's like normally this is about power of choice and boo and balance and things, but I feel like this is more like the Two of Cups energy coming in, that you're seeing eye to eye and you're seeing these similarities. There's a lot of this equalness of coming together here. But the timing was for a reason, always for us. And so if we change our perspective of, you know, why didn't something come of it? It's like, oh, I can trust that when something doesn't come of something, then it's always for me. It's either giving me opportunity to grow, giving the other person opportunity to grow, usually both. And then that allows the vibration to be higher. And instead of a bumpy ride, it's like, okay, it's like they're showing me, this is funny. They've never shown me this before. But if you ever have like a hot cup of coffee or even like a drink of any kind, like you have like a lid that you just got through a drive-through or whatever, and you're like, before I take off the lid to add creamer or do whatever I want to the drink, whether it's adding sugar or whatever you're going to do, right? I'm going to wait to take it off till I hit the freeway. I'm not driving, of course. Someone's driving, else is driving, right? I'm going to wait till we get over all the bumps and everything before I open that up. Otherwise, all over me, right? So it's where things will be a more smoother ride now as you guys drift this way. Let's see what the fortune cookie brings in here too, with the seasons of the witch. Mais bon. Let's see what else they want you to know about this energy here. I do feel like, well, what's going to come of this? I feel like you guys will, things will move forward in getting to know each other more. But this King of Wands energy definitely feels whatever you're wanting and whatever you focus on determines the route that you go. Of course, they get to experience it the way they choose. But if I focus on my expectations, like those Nine of Swords, of what is not happening, who they're not being, blah, 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 all those expectations, that just takes us on a downward spiral. It sucks the life out of things. But if I can focus on what do I love about them? What do I love about what they're bringing into our interactions? What do I love about this friendship relationship that we're developing? Because we have relationships with all sorts of people. Doesn't mean it's a, you know, romantic relationship necessarily right away, but there is this great growth of this, and what am I grateful for in it? What am I grateful, and what is it bringing me, and what am I grateful about me in there? The more I focus on that, then that expands, right? So if I focus on the light and the higher vibration, I get more of that. I focus on, oh, I don't like that they didn't do this, they didn't text me in the right time. You know how we can get into all that expectations that just sucks the life, and we feel like instead, right? All right, let's see what your fortune cookie is. You got peppers. Ooh, hot peppers. Very cool. Card number 28. Be fierce about the ways in which you protect yourself. Allies await. Ooh, let's take a look here. Let's find number 28. There we go. So the key words are breakthrough. It's also protection, respect, and allies. We already read the little thingy here. So let's take a look here. It says, your higher self chose this card because not everyone can handle the sting of hot peppers and will go out of their way to avoid them at all costs. The heat is too overwhelming and feels like too much of an effort in pursuit of a great meal. In a strange way, boundaries are a lot like peppers. Some people will try to step on you and take advantage of you and are only willing to be in your personal orbit as long as you agree with them. I feel like these are, these sparklers, right? However, the moment you begin to demand respect, you might find that many people simply cannot handle it when you serve them a little heat. Those are those sparklers that, psst, they sparkled for a minute and then psst, went out. The pepper card is here to confirm that anyone or anything you lose by establishing boundaries will be replaced with people who can stand your heat. You will go on to find people who understand your need for respect and won't try to take advantage of you and will listen in earnest without diminishing your opinions because they don't align with theirs. That's that seeing things from different perspectives, that 8 and 11 and 11 and 8, right? Establishing boundaries also helps build confidence. The more you practice saying no,
this is my last word. No!
That's kind of an aggressive no. There's different ones on there. That's my no button. But the more you practice saying no, you don't have to say it like that, right? The more you take back your power from those to steal or stamp it out. So some believe when eating very hot peppers, it's better to keep going than to stop because stopping makes the heat more intense, whereas continuing allows you to slowly desensitize. There we go. Habits are no different. They are difficult at first, but with time, you'll begin to expect respect and will make no time for those who don't offer it. Boom. I love that. So that definitely feels like the energy of um, those sparklers that you got before, that you were able to see those that wouldn't respect boundaries and just step over things. And you're like, these aren't expectations. This is just like um, people honoring it, right? And you're like, I deserve to have someone who honors my boundaries, and I like that, someone who sees things from different perspectives too. So I like that for you, Marissa. So hopefully that resonates for you. That's what they have for you right now. So thank you again for your donation. Greatly appreciate that, and enjoy. Pisces. Pisces. I've got a stellium in Pisces. My mom, I was just talking to her, chatting with her earlier. She's a Pisces sun. So we got a lot of this. They like swimming on the dark side of the pond sometimes. And that's okay. You know, they are big feelers. So, in which I know you're okay with. All right. So that's what they have for you. Yeah, I know, right? It's great. I mean, this no button, it starts off.
No!
That's the extreme one, I think.
No.
See, that's the no. Then it just escalates from there. So we started off at the beginning again. Glad you're enjoying it. All right. So thank you again, Marissa. Many blessings to you. Next up, we have Alice. So Alice, you're at 2920. Let's throw that in here. Boom, boom. And thank you for your donation with the little rainbow unicorn. I love it. And you want to know what kind of news will you receive from your dream company today? Will they invite you to move forward for the second round of interviews? Oh, I'm so glad. Hopefully I'm done with the interviews in this lifetime. Those are always they can be fun if we allow them to be fun. I know my last interview that I did, my final interview, well, maybe not. I think there was one more after that. But it was just laid back, and I'm just, I'm happy with where I'm at. So it was just like, it was a good conversation, right? So let's take a look here. What are we expecting here based on current energies from them? Will we move forward here? Okay, I don't want those. I do want this one this one. All right, let's see what we got here. Ooh, I think it looking good here, Alice. You do have the 6 of Swords, 6 of Arrows, which it says transition on here, but it is about movement of communication, movement from choppy waters to calmer waters. It's a very positive card, so this is looking good. Let's see, that's the bottom of the deck. Let's see what else they have here for you. Okay. You got the Wheel of Fortune and the 10 of Cups. Yeah, 2 10s, which are endings and beginnings energy, but the Wheel of Fortune, it's one of the most, one of the more beneficial cards in all this. Sorry, my shirt is just like off. There we go. I think, there we go. It's kind of more even. Look at things are evening out. But the Wheel of Fortune, sorry, is a very big abundance card. The 10 of Cups is a card of happiness and joy. So again, all 3 cards so far very much supporting all of this here. You have the Page of Stones, Page of Pentacles, which is a new opportunity, an advanced opportunity. Underneath that, you have the 4 of Arrows, peace of mind. So it's focus on the butterfly more than the person with these. They're not hit by any of them. That's good. But it is a peace of mind. It's a very restful energy. So again, all pointing to that, yes, you'll be getting this here, the 9 of Vessels, 9 of Cups, another dream come true energy. And leaving with the final 2 cards, you do have the Knight of Bows and the 2 of Stones. I like that. Very balanced energy. The Knight of Bows, Knight of Wands is a fast moving energy. So I feel like you're going to get notification quickly and that they will take you to the next step. The 2 of Stones, it's like stepping stones. The next stone, the number 2 stone. So I feel like with all of this, this is a yes with this energy here. If you don't get a second interview, the only other energy that could be with all of this wonderfulness is that if you don't get a second interview there, it means that where you go to next is even though you're saying this is your dream job, that it would be even more of a dream you'd even realize you had. You'd be like, holy moly. So I feel like it's more that you're going on to the second interview since this is your dream job rather than that. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in too. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay, this is the one here. And you've got Root Vegetables, card 33. That's what this is. In those hidden places where most fear, where most fear to go is where the most nourishment is waiting for you to behold. Ooh, I like this. It feels progression energy, right? Let's see here. 33. Oh, one too many. There we go. So this is about digging for nourishment or gold, considering other resources, and going where others might avoid. So your higher self chose this card because you need guidance on how to dig deeper for the resources and nourishment you need for your situation. Some of the world's most precious and desired resources, such as diamonds, gold, truffles, and agarwood, a very rare and expensive fragrance made from a particular molded wood, interesting, are found in dirty, muddy places, and some of the most nourishing foods are found growing below ground. So root vegetables such as carrots, beets, and garlic are powerful superfoods that are known for their healing and restorative properties. Consider whether or not you have a complete understanding of your desires. You may need to consider enrolling in a class to learn more information, or perhaps if you've also, we haven't pulled Campfire, but you might seek out a mentor who can offer additional guidance. In a relationship, you could ask more questions rather than assuming you know someone's intention. Do your research and review the fine print carefully when signing any contracts or before taking advantage of any opportunity. So that's good. If they make you an offer, read the fine print, right? You might be surprised to find there are better options available. So if you're feeling stuck, it may be time to think outside the box and look beyond what is immediately in front of you. What may seem like a dirty or even unsavory person or place could be just what you need. I like this, right? Isn't it a good energy? So I feel like, regardless, here, there's even some of that mention of looking elsewhere. So whatever this is, how this unfolds, just know it's going to be like that Wheel of Fortune is. It's always for you. Um, and that if you don't get this dream job, it means there's something even more that, if spirit goes, well, that isn't really, you think it's your dream job, but we have no idea because we only know by our past what we think is our dream until we don't even know. It's like you go to Disneyland in California, which is a small amusement park, and you're like, wow. And then you're like, I'm going to bring you to Disney World. And you go, holy crap, right? Because it's like 10, 10, 15, 20 times. I've never been to Disney World, but it's like big, right? So I like that. And this about just trust that finding and getting to the root of things is messy, that it's always doesn't go like super clean along the way, that it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to be messy. And that's okay. Just be you. I like that too. I know. Woo, woo, woo. All right. So that's what they have for you, Alice. So many blessings to you. Enjoy your adventure there. All right. And then Sean G, you are up. Thank you for your donation via Zcash app. Let's put this out here. And so, Sean G, you want to know what are K's feelings for you, and is he going to reach out again? All right, let's take a look here. So, based on current energy, what are K's feelings for you? Okay, thank you. Right, and I feel like you need to know that too. All right. And then, is he going to reach out again? Okay, thank you. What else? I kind of feel like that was first, that one, and then that one. Okay. Let's take a look here. What do we got going on here? You do have the seer, the high priestess energy on the bottom of the deck. So definitely trust your gut, trust your intuition when it comes, well, always, right? But especially when it comes to them, trust that the gut energy underneath. If you feel like something, just know it, or you feel like something, then you know it, right? So let's take a look here. What are their current feelings for you? Yeah, we got the shaman. So we got this which is the divine counterpart of the high priestess underneath, but this is an energy starting off of fire. I look at it as fire. It's really Mercury, which is really what is that, Gemini and Virgo energy. So Mercury is more mental energy and communicating energy and wanting to communicate, but I feel like it's a energetic draw to you here. Let's see what else. Yeah, and the pole star. So we have the star card too. So there's a little bit of energy here. I kind of got it with the shaman being the counterpart to um, the high priestess. So there is an energy of feeling like you are a good match. That things really, I feel like they really recognize connection and similarities between the two of you. What's underneath here? Yep, and then we have the stag, which is number 11, which is normally the justice card. And it is this energy of the balancing scales, and it is really mental with this ace of swords that's usually balancing out. That's the thing the scales are balancing on, seeing things differently, seeing things from a different perspective. Four major arcana here too. which feels very like you guys see each other more or less along the same lines, and I feel like there's this um, energy around connection and conversation that when you guys have conversations, I feel like it resonates um, and maybe you guys go deep into conversation. It just feels like there's when you guys do talk, it just is like it's not usually. I don't feel like it's a quick talk. I feel like it's like deep conversations. Like, wow, it's really been 2 hours. Oh my god, or whatever. Either that or that's the way it's going to be with all this energy. But Major Arcana 4. So there's a lot here. Let's see what else we have here. We wanted to know, will they reach out again? We got the King of Stones, the King of Pentacles next to the Queen of Cups. Yeah, so we've got the wolf and the salmon. Hunt. The wolf is going to be hunting for the salmon. Well, that's good because it's bears that hunt salmon, not really wolves. but you got this energy here. It's amazing that it's on the surface. It seems like you guys are so different because the king of stones is earth energy and air energy. Queen of vessels, queen of cups is like the high priestess, double water energy. Um, but I do feel like they recognize this connection. Let's see what's here below the surface here. Because you got the five of stones, five of pentacles, just a little fear of lack and not being enough. Let's see what else is here too. Page of arrows. So that's heightened communication, new communication coming in with the Queen of Bows, Queen of Wands. Yeah. I'm getting a little bit here. I like that the Five of Pentacles, they call it endurance. If you wait a while, I feel like they'll eventually call. But with this Queen of Wands, and all of this, trust your gut. If you want to reach out, reach out. We don't have to wait for someone else to reach out to us. Um, and so don't trust your gut, trust your instinct. Because with the Queen of Bows, the Queen of Wands, she has a great connection to the spirit world. Queen of Cups and the High Priestess. All of this is trusted. If you feel drawn to do it, what are we afraid of, right? The Five of Pentacles can be our own reflection of how do we feel around our beliefs and lack of afraid of not being enough, not having enough, being abandoned, being left behind, being left out in the cold, you know. But if we're afraid, oh, what if they don't want to talk to me anymore? Well, that's good to know. Then we mark that, we remove that out of the alphabet, or we make that letter available in the alphabet again, right? But um yeah, and I feel like that's an important thing, that not to hold back, that if you feel like reaching out, then reach out. And if you don't get a response or don't get the response we're looking for, that's information we can do with that, with what we want here. But very empowering energy coming in here for you as well, because you want someone who can take the heat. It's like we got the pepper energy earlier. It's like you want someone who can take the heat. And if they can't, that's good information. It's like, yeah, I thought you might be able to, but if you can't, you know, right. So I like that. Let's see what else you have here. You have grieving, number 19. And this says the chambers of your mourning, like mourning, are surrounded by nothingness, emptiness, waiting to be seen. Ooh, let's see what this says. Keywords are grief, mourning, deep sorrow, and heartbreak. Says your higher self chose this card. And I feel like we're talking about the Five of Pentacles energy, which I'm sure like probably everybody in this chat and that watches this video would be able to go, we can all relate about feeling that pain of not being chosen in our past, feeling rejected, feeling abandoned in somehow, some way in our lives. that create this energy of that we're afraid that it's going to be repeated. And that's what our inner child doesn't want to feel that again. That feel like crap, right? So anyway, your higher self chose this card because grief isn't just about the death of a loved one. Mourning is defined as feeling regret or sadness about the loss or disappearance of something. Wow, right? You can grieve the end of a career, a move from one place to another, letting go of a dream, or seeing your children leave the nest. While grief isn't pleasant, it's important to acknowledge the loss of something or someone that was important to you. Doing so doesn't reduce the love you had for what you've lost, but it does give you a way to let go and move on. To ignore your sadness is to deny a meaningful part of your life story. So, pulling grieving is an opportunity to embrace the heavy emotions that you've been carrying. Express the fullness of your heartache as a tribute to to what once was. And then once you have cried, screamed, gotten angry, or sad, your spirit will be free. It's only when you deny your grief that it becomes baggage. Will you feel sad from time to time? Of course. Memories have a way of creeping in even when a healthy grief process, but it won't be a constant thorn in your soul. This card also reminds you that it's okay to feel sorrow for something or someone who is gone, even if that person or thing brought you great harm. The bad memories don't erase the good ones, and there's nothing wrong with cherishing any happiness you once experienced together. It doesn't matter if other people don't understand your grief because it isn't theirs to understand in the first place. Wow. Boom. I love that. So I do feel like here there is this energy of, and I feel like that Five of Pentacles being underneath is something that you both can relate to. I mean, we all can, but I feel like, they're, you both are kind of I feel like theirs is more of an active grief. I feel like yours is more of a buried grief because I feel like yours is from many, many years ago. I feel like theirs is recent-ish, like in the last year. So they're going through some fears of, I don't want to, since it's freshly felt, I don't want to feel this stuff again, right? But anyway, hopefully that helps. I feel like that's what they have for you there. Timing in it at all? I feel in October for sure, it feels like based on current energies, by the end of this month, we're only, 5 days away. It's a possibility, but maybe more like not this weekend, but maybe next weekend kind of energy. So hopefully that helps. That's what they got for you, Sean. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. All right. Oops. All right. So where we're at on donations, just so everyone knows. Hey, Olivier. Hello, hello. Good to see you. And Gigi is in the house. Hello, hello. I don't think I missed anyone else today. Okay. So we've got Deb up next, and then the Gemini times 2, and then we will go to Gigi, and then CJ. Hey, CJ. Hello. Shout out to you as well. So that is where we're at. I think. Yes. Whoop. And then back to Shanji. Sorry, I just saw that. So we'll circle back around for you. All right. So Deb, you are up. We have 4933 coming in here for you. Boom, boom. Let's give your donation a love and a like here. So you would like a spirit message. All right. Just make sure there's nothing else in here. All right. So let's see what spirit has here for you. Take another little sip here. Cheers, everybody. Let me just move up here in my little emails here too. All right. So let's take a look here. All right. Got those. What else? What else for Deb? All right. That's underneath. That's way underneath. That is what comes out next. You don't want this one too. That's underneath there. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. You have to laugh. You got the hermit. Are you being a hermit? Me, myself, a Saturn return. I think I'm within that period because it's like 29 is the first one, right? And so 58, 59. I've begun it, right? Because it's usually around that. I just had my Mars return Monday. I just heard a little doggy barking outside my window, which we have a big dog, so that's not them. So interesting. Yep, but this is good. The great thing about you've been thinking about mom. The great thing about the second Saturn return is it's more about learning through watching other people go through stuff, not yourself. The first one's the really rough one where we're experiencing the shaking and the rattling. Um, it's like you're down on the ground while it's shaking. On your second Saturn return, it's like watching it from a hot air balloon. Look at why is everyone falling down? Or we're like the Weebles. Remember those? Weebles wobble, but we don't fall down. It's like I might wobble, but there's no falling down. All right, but the bottom of the deck, you do have the Hermit as your overall energy, which makes sense. Virgo, spending some time being drawn inward, um, especially around Virgo energy of your body. That makes sense. Everything that you're experiencing right now, you have this really drawn in, and it makes sense. We just come in out of Virgo season, which really brought a lot of this energy of body focus on our human body. That's what Virgos get to have that as a big piece of their journey and adventure. So whatever you have in Virgo in our sixth house reflects into our physical bodies, telling us and communicating. But definitely I know it's a lot of people having a lot of physical revelations and reflections. And I feel like we're just kind of coming out of that a little bit, right? So I do like that. You do have here the Eight of Arrows, Eight of Swords, and the Journey. Yeah, I like this for you because we have the Death and Rebirth card and the Eight of Swords. There is a little bit of interesting facing, of course, the fear of death, right? And it's an amazing thing when we, you know, looking at our lives and ultimately when we take everything down to the root cause of all of our fears, it's the fear of rejection, but really the fear underneath that is the fear of death. Because if we feel we're not accepted by our tribe and supported, we fear we'll die alone. But then when we question, and we're like, oh, don't think about death, right? Everyone is like, we don't think about that, right? We're taught that in a lot of societies. Don't think about death. No. Just, do whatever you can to try to avoid it as long as you can, outrun, the Grim Reaper, right? But when we really sit and question, what am I fearing around death? And then we let go of that. And that Eight of Swords is about letting go and flowing through those thoughts and letting go of thoughts and beliefs that don't serve us anymore. That might have been bubbling down in the surface, but it's stuff coming up and going, am I afraid of death? No, I'm ready to on to the next adventures. If it's time, then I'm not going to pursue it or whatever, but I'm going to embrace whatever's coming next, right? Coming back to this moment. I like that. Let's see what this next little. You got the Ace of Bows, the Spark of Life, and the Six of Stones, the Six of Pentacles. So there's this equal giving and receiving, and there's this passion energy here, which I like. I feel like an energy of love those who are around you, and just that equal giving and receiving. It's like this igniting a passion of being with the people, not wanting to change people, not wanting to change myself, but enjoying this equal giving and receiving energy is what I'm really getting in here. And this Ace of bows is the spark of life. And it does. And it's interesting, right? The fear of what's next, what's next, what's next. And we're like, you know what? I get to decide what the story is. Whatever happens next, I get to determine the story, my emotions, my energy, my actions. Can't control anyone else's at any time. So I get to choose, you know. Being a hermit now and embracing my hermitude is used to fear, what if everyone doesn't want to talk to me? Now I'm like, oh well, I have no I have no fear of that. It's almost like that's my dream come true. Not really, because I enjoy talking to you know people, of course, deep um, conversations, not shallow. I'm not a shallow conversation person. It's like we're going deep, or I'm just heading down the road. Mostly, right? Let's see what else we have here. But I just feel like this. It's almost like when we face death, we embrace life more, because what's the worst that could happen? And I'm like, I already got that covered. Death is the worst, really, that could happen, right? And if we are afraid, oh, everyone's going to reject me, I'm like, there's how many, 7-8 billion people on the planet or something like that. There's plenty of people that are going to love me. You know, I don't have to worry, right? Even if I have to go the other side of the world and I used to joke, it's a little small village in China. They love me there. We'll go there. All right, let's see what else we have here. You got the Two of Arrows. Yep, some decision making to come in here, um, or some decisions that are made. But let's see here. You got the King of Bows. I like this because the King of Bows is about determining what I want and then making a plan and putting action behind it, letting everyone else's opinions be in a little box, clearing the throne room, allowing that to go forward. And then, so I feel like this is an energy of feeling like I get to decide what I want for my life. And everyone gets to decide what they want for their life too. Underneath all of this is the Knight of Vessels. Yeah. The quest for self-love, right? So what's really below the surface in all of this decision making is our journey of our self-love, and everything pointing us back to that. So that's the underlying energy. But I feel like the decisions and the stuff that came in here was for you, decisions that you've had to make recently and currently and in the future, that this is all for your growth and for you stepping into your power and your energy to go forward. And I like this, reminder that our whole adventure here isn't to find our love out there, but to find our inner love here. And by experiencing the outer love, we understand our inner love so much more. So I like that. And what else do they have here? Wow, boom, 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 boom. Then you have the Green Man, of course. I love that. The Emperor. This is a lot like the King of Wands energy coming in here. And the Mirror, which is the Hanged Man. Two major arcana. Transformation, seeing things from a different perspective. And I like that. I feel like it is they're bringing up, your ability to change my mind when I want to, and that's okay. I get to change my mind um, if I'm wanting to. I haven't made any blood contracts with anybody. You're so stuck with the fact that you were told you talk too much. But I believe this next adventure was put in front of me. You talk too much for them, which means they want it, right? Yeah, I like this. Was that recently, or from your past? But Yeah, I mean, if people say you talk too much, well, that means they're talking too much to themselves in their head, right? And um, and it's amazing that um, are they afraid to interrupt? That's their pet peeve, right? Well, if I'm talking too much, just interrupt me. you know, we'll have that agreement. It's okay to interrupt me, but if I'm just going to talk and you're not going to stop me, I will talk until I'm done. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Because I remember I used to be a very quiet, shy person. I know, hard to believe. I wouldn't walk into a room by myself. I wouldn't walk into a crowded room or a restaurant. I'd wait outside. People like, okay, I'll get a table inside. No, let's just meet on the outside because I didn't want to walk in, right? But I love that, you know, and I used to be like, um, everyone would always um, talk for hours and then they asked me how I'm doing, but it was time to go. And I was okay with that because I was very shy into myself. I'm like, oh, it's okay. I loved hearing from you. But if people want to be heard, that's just them sharing that, right? So I like that, and I'm sure you're totally aware of all this, but I feel like it's a good thing to know that when people are saying that we're too much or too little of something, that's a mirror. So how is that, right? Yeah. And that's right. You're if that's what I listen to others more. That's all right. But even if you didn't, you're perfect. It's but everyone's reaction or response to what we're doing or not doing, saying or not saying is for them, not us, right? But what they say to us and what triggers inside of us is, oh, someone says you talk too much, and that's what I would tell them. Well, then interrupt me. Thank you for your observation, and I'll try to be more aware of that. But interrupt me if you have something to say. Interrupt me. I'll be okay with it, or I won't, and that'll be me to deal with, right? Yeah, your mom. Uh, well, here, your mom's making you some cocoa. You got cocoa, cow. Number 5, you are loved, you are held, and you already are everything you seek. I love that. That's mama energy coming in, right? She's like, "I know I said a whole bunch of things," but her fear was for her children, that she didn't want her children to be rejected. Then you owned it, right? Boom. So keywords are embrace, open heart, and tenderness. I love that though. You are loved, you are held, and you already are everything you seek. So your higher self, I feel like your mom chose this card for you because of the cocoa. It's just like, here, have a cup of cocoa. I'm sorry. uh, your higher self chose this card because cocoa, I think, or is it cow? I think you can call it either way. Anyway, it's such a comforting drink to experience. It's like a hug from your nearest and your dearest. And when this card appears, it's a message from spirit acknowledging any emotional hurt and pain you have felt. Wow, that's his mom. Whether you have experienced a breakup, the loss of a loved one, disappointment, or a betrayal, Coco reminds you that it is safe to open your heart again. However, do not feel rushed to welcome love from another before you have found love for yourself. What does it mean to you to feel loved, supported, and emotionally nourished? Hmm. What does it mean to feel loved, supported, and emotionally nourished? How would your life look and feel if you loved and accepted yourself unconditionally? And this is all that Knight of Cups, the quest for the self-love, right? Feel your heart, and it's feel, not fill. It's feel your heart with the feelings these visualizations invoke and allow them to gently soften you little by little. This card is also a reminder that you are worthy of being loved. You are not broken, no matter what past experiences might have led you to believe. Shut up. You are a good, kind hearted, gentle soul whose light is needed in this world. Please don't allow anyone's poor treatment to prevent you from letting others experience your light. Boom. I love that. That's so your mom. And look, here's the owl. How many how many looks does it take to get to the center of a lollipop? 1, 2, 3. I love that. How perfect. You can't make that up. So that is what they have for you, my dear. So grateful for your donation. I love those messages. That is from your mom. She chose that. As soon as I saw it, cocoa, I just saw like your mom handing you a nice big mug of cocoa with the marshmallows, colored marshmallows. She goes, "Do you like the little, the little?" Uh, I see little marshmallows in them, but I don't know if they're colored. If that Lucky Charms, but there's marshmallows in your cocoa. I love that. So I love everything that was said in that. So that is what they have for you, my dear. Thank you again for your donation. Many blessings to you. All right, I'm going to take another sip here. We'll continue on here. All right. So the Gemini, you are up. Look at this 107.17. All these ones and sevens. My goodness. And this is times 2. So thank you for your dual donations via Zcash app. Let's see what we got here. Shuffle up here. Let's get these energies flowing to the Gemini. Colored marshmallows. Yeah. So that's what it was. I love it. All right. So that's her validating it was her for you. Not that you needed validation, but it's always a nice little extra. All right. So the Gemini, thank you for your dual donations, like I said. And for number 1, you want to know, is the Sag going to pop up to your house and start a fight? I don't know. This fiery energy. The Sages are pretty more normally more calmer, but let's take a look here. Based on current energies, what do we have going on here? All right. What's this here too? I feel like this is underlying energy, but I feel like this is overall. We'll put it over here. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. So we've got the 8 of arrows, 8 of swords on the bottom, which is an energy of flow of communication. It's not so much a conflicting energy as it is a flow energy. So far, I'm feeling like they're letting go of communications and thoughts that don't serve anymore. So it feels very flowing. But let's take a look here. We got 4 cards that came out together with one underlying energy, then a card leading to something, like something's leading it to the whatever this outcome is that's here, based on current energies anyway. So the first card that's here, we have the 6 of stones. Again, another balanced energy of the 6 of pentacles, so it doesn't feel like too crazy there. You got the 4 of bows, the 4 of wands, joy, celebration kind of energy. So again, another even, if you look at the even numbers as flowy and the odd numbers as conflict, because if you have like a 6, there's 3 on each side, there's a nice little, or an 8, there's a nice little flow in the middle. But if you add it's a 5 or a 7, there's something right in the middle that's the conflict, that's the right. so far, very flowy, happy kind of energies. Well, I had to do the 7 of Cups. So there is some emotional conflict here, but this isn't out in the physical world yet. This is all internal emotional confusion. There's mourning, meaning morning, not like the morning rising of the sun, that it says on here, which can be, again, conflicting emotional energies. So I know that it does feel like there's a little bit of, sadsies going on in their heart. Um, but they had the 4 of Vessels too. 4 of Cups is emotional stability. So I feel like there might have been some, but it feels like things have calmed it down a bit. Let's see what this underlying energy is on here. What's going on? Yeah, we got the 7 of Swords here, which is deceit, lying, deception. It has insecurity listed here on this card. That's the mental and physical, not physical, mental conflict, energy, not physical conflict, because it's all here. Communication conflict was what I was going to say. I don't feel like they're going to show up in person. They, if anything, they would reach out just verbally or texting or something, but I don't feel like they're going to show up at your house to start a fight. I feel like there's something here with the 7 of Swords, because that is the thievery, the betrayal, the liar, kind of card, and I feel like get called out for things. Um, so it's like, yeah, I feel like you have all the arrows that you would be able to shoot at them. Um, and I feel like if you don't, it's like, what is it? What is the old saying? Going to a gun battle with a knife. Try it, So I feel like they're kind of, that's the underlying energy is this. No, I don't have a leg to stand on here, so I'm not going to try anything. Let's see what this card is leading here. Look, we have the Archer. I like this Chariot. This is movement. It is victory energy. It is the power of choice energy. So there is this coming in here, of course. You get to choose what you draw into. So if I fear this and um, I fear conflict, well, if you want conflict, you'll draw it towards you anyway. But if I fear conflict, that also draws it. So if I don't, then I'm not going to focus on the fear and the energy around what could come my way. I'm going to focus on what I'm grateful for. So because whatever I focus my energy on is what will grow and expand. So that's a good um, reminder for all of us is whatever our focusing the most on is what grows and expands. So if we focus more on gratitude, gratitude, gratitude for what is, for what we do love, not to like pretend something doesn't exist, but not focus on it is the difference, right? And this leads you to the dream come true. So wishing upon a star. It's very balanced Aquarian energy too. So I like that for you with this. So I don't feel like there's anything based on current energy to be concerned about. Just be aware where you're investing your energy and on what you do want, not what on you don't want. Because if you focus on what you don't want, it's like seeing a mountain lion walking across the parking lot and going, "You mountain lion better not come towards me. Hey, mountain lion, you better not come over here." And the mountain lion's like, "What? What? Come over there? Okay, I'll come over there." No, So just be aware of that. For your fortune cookie, I feel like we'll pull it on your second question here. So that's what they had for El Numero Uno. And for number 2, thank you for your additional donation. Okay, so you want to just know, how's your home situation? All right, we'll take a look here. All right, so based on current energies, tell us about here. Okay, thank you. And here, what else? Okay, I do want this one too. All right, what do we have here? So you've got 221. What's 221B Baker Street? That's Sherlock Holmes. Maybe you are moving. Maybe you're going to move in with a flatmate, because that's how Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson ended up meeting, was they were brought together as flatmates. Maybe you need a roommate. You're like, hey, I know. But we'll take a look here and dive deeper. You do on the bottom of the card have the World Tree, which is the last card of the Major Arcana, which represents an ending of one cycle, the beginning of a new adventure. So it is a victory card, which tells us it is for you. And sometimes that's what it's going to take, and it doesn't have to be forever. But maybe there is a roommate situation or something. That's funny that they brought all that in. But I do like that. I do like that. Um, it's funny just how they work with my brain. Uh, Half the utilities, half of a lot of expenses can make it. You can even have a bigger place um, for the same price sometimes. So something to contemplate here with all that. There's never any have to, but based on current energy, I feel like that's like an underlying maybe piece of advice, if that helps. Let's see what this first one comes in here. What else? That was the bottom of the deck. You do have the Hermit and the Nine of Bows. So there is this being alone energy and the block energy. And I can see that, you know, trust me, I love my host because we understand each other really well. And I live in her basement, and she doesn't need to come downstairs except if she wants to do laundry. Um, and we can sometimes go, a couple days without really seeing each other because I'm a hermit, like it says. So I understand wanting to do it alone and be alone, and that could be a barrier here with the Nine of Wands, which is about, you know, this. I don't want to end up with someone that's in my face and those, horror roommates we all hear about. It's like, but it doesn't have to be forever, and that can make things easier financially. But so don't just know that you can have an experience of understanding with someone going, I'm a big hermit. So if I go in my room, just know that. Or if I'm not talkative, it just means I'm in my little world. It has nothing to do with you. You just develop a good understanding. So again, just information, no requirements, right? Um, so I feel like that's coming in. Let's see here. This is your question. Based on current energies, are you going to be ousted, right? So let's take a look here. You have the Four of Stones, Four of Pentacles. There is this protection energy here. This is my home card. And the Ace of Arrows, the Breath of Life. Ace of Swords is new communication coming in with all this. What's this over here? And the Queen of Arrows, which is a balance between head and heart. I don't feel like there's going to be like an eviction or that, but I feel like they're looking at, maybe is there possibilities of, I don't know if you can stay where you're at and have a roommate, or is there a situation where you can? Because I feel like right now, based on current energies, it's not happening like in the near future, but I feel like it's not going to. Um, I feel like maybe if when you come around for a lease, they may not renew it, something along those lines. Or they're going to require for you to renew to catch up on everything and do this. So I feel like they're kind of doing spirit's giving you a preemptive of maybe look for ways to cut the costs with possibly roommate energy. So that's interesting. So hopefully that helps. And we'll also give your fortune cookie here. See what else Spirit wants you to know overall here. This is from the Seasons of the Witch, Mabon Oracle. So what else do we have here for the Gemini? Okay. Nope. Didn't let any of those. All right, there it is. And you got darkness falls. Dun, dun, dun. I know it feels like that, right? Let's take a look here. Within you live the hidden, the things that want nothing more than to swallow you whole. Let's take a look here. I know that sounds ominous. Let's see what it says here. Yeah, this is facing your demons, acknowledging your perceived faults, your self-compassion. It says your higher self chose this card because you have perceived faults and you feel like you've made mistakes. And it's true that some mistakes seem more costly than others, but no one lives a perfect life by any means. I like this, have compassion on yourself, right? With your current situations. When you feel you've made a misstep or when you feel your faults put you in a sticky situation, defense mode can feel like a natural response. The wound from feeling less than has likely already triggered self criticism, doubt, and even possibly anger. And then to also bear the weight of someone else's disappointment, pain, anger, or criticism can feel like too much to carry. Before you know it, darkness has fallen and you're operating from a shadowy place rather than standing in your light and giving yourself some grace. I love that. So you've pulled the darkness falls because you're experiencing your situation from a dark place and reacting defensively. Every story has two sides, and it may be time to consider whether or not you also share some blame in your current circumstances. This card does not guide you to view yourself in a negative light, but to act as a neutral bystander who is merely curious and observant. How might you advise a friend who's experiencing similar circumstances? Ooh, would you guide them to calm down and take some deep breaths? Explain to them how they might be wrong in the situation, or even say sorry? You might find clarity and the answers needed for a positive resolution once you observe your circumstances from the outside rather than deep inside your shadow. I know, right? Perhaps you will discover you were right all along, or maybe you'll be forced to acknowledge your own faults. As C.S. Lewis said, you can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. Wow. I love that for you. So that is what they have for you, the Gemini. So thank you again for your dual donations. I greatly appreciate those. All right. Hang in there. All right. So GG, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. Boom, boom. And we can give yours a love and a like since it lets me. All right, and you want to know, did Caitlin report you for using AI in your test, or is she keeping quiet? Oh, let's take a look. Loose lips sink ships, right? All right, so let's take a look here. So, did Caitlin report you? Let's take a look, see what we got here. And if so, or if not, what's the outcome? Yeah, if that's all they want here. All right, so we do have the Ace of Pentacles energy on the bottom of the deck. That's a positive energy, so it feels like a positive outcome with the situation. Just as your underlying energy. At least it's a new opportunity that's offered in the outside world. Let's see what we got here. Did she do it? Three of bows, three of wands, which is going a different direction than we thought they would with new information. Let me see what these other cards are, because that could go different ways. Got three of stones, creativity, seven of vessels. There is this bit of um, conflicted emotion that's there. Let's see what the ultimate is here. The eight of vessels, eight of cups. It's walking away from emotion that doesn't serve anymore. So um, I feel like this is more of a letting go and heading off in a different direction. They may not. I don't know how much of interactions if you guys have with one another. They might seem kind of distant going forward because I feel like they don't like conflict, and I feel like they don't haven't turned you in and won't around it. But I feel like they're also I don't want to get in trouble by association. So I feel like if you guys interact, you'll see less interaction. This Eight of Cups is also about walking away from relationships and emotions that don't serve. So that Seven of Vessels with that conflicting energy, I feel like they're like, I don't want to, again, guilt by association. I don't want to get sucked into anything. I'm going to distance myself a bit. So if you get that energy, but I don't feel like with this energy, based on their energy right now, I don't feel like they did or will as of right now. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in too for any clarity around this at all. What else here for Gigi? Any of those? No. What else? Just tell her, AI is going to take over the world. Just surrender. Pumpkin spice and apple cider. Very comforting things during coldness. Look at the lightning bolt hitting the tower. Or the house. Oh, no, that's not lightning. That's smoke going out of a chimney. Another. Nothing is more nostalgic than the joy of belonging in your presence. So let's take a look here. See what this brings in. So the key words are nostalgia, joy, belonging, and inner child. I felt like they have this. They don't like conflict, so they'll avoid conflict. Your higher self chose this card because there are hints from your past that hold the answer to your future. So this card presents itself to you when you're feeling confused or questioning your strengths, talents, and perhaps even your life purpose. It might seem as though you have no idea what you should be doing with your life. You may have had a spark of inspiration here or there, but what feels like an aha moment 1 second turns to crippling doubt and fear just as quickly as the thoughts arrived. Pumpkin spice and apple cider guide you to return to the past when you're searching for clues to your next steps. What did you enjoy? I can't even talk. What did you enjoy doing as a child? What was your answer or answers when asked, who do you want to be when you grow up? Did you see yourself as an artist? That there was that 3 of Pentacles, which is about being true to the authentic you, and that's creativity and artistry. Perhaps it's time to explore different forms of creative expression. Did you see yourself as a farmer? Why not cultivate a small garden? You never know where small steps might lead. A small garden may one day turn into a sprawling farm. Children know the value of incredible dreams, and so did you when you were a child. Don't discount any childhood fantasy, no matter how silly it may seem. One breadcrumb will lead to another, and what was a desire to be an astronaut might simply mean a love of the stars. Astrology could fulfill that same love. Allow yourself to imagine anything is possible because when you do, you give your soul space to uncover the possibilities you didn't even know were there. It's interesting that kind of what is your true dream? Because if like we're using like AI or whatever to take a test or whatever, if I'm doing something I love, then I'm gonna study it. I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna, test me. I know. everything about it, right? There's a little boy I knew. He loved dinosaurs. I could ask him anything about a dinosaur. Oh yeah, da da da, and then da da da, and da da da. He just tell me all this other stuff too. And that's so that could be, question, maybe that's why this came up. The situation is, why was I using AI for a test? Is this something I really don't want? And maybe this is not my path, but a path of my brain, someone else's dream I'm trying to live, or something else I'm trying to do. Maybe this isn't for me. At least it's a good reflection, if that helps. All right, so that's what they have for you, Gigi. So many blessings to you. All right, and CJ, you are up next. Thank you for your donation. Just grab your timestamp here and give your donation a love and a like. All right, and you'd like a message from Spirit. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, so what do you have for CJ? Okay, we got that. This. Do you want those? Don't want any of those. I do want this one and that one. All right, this one? No. Okay. All right. So you do have here the bottom of the card. The bottom of the deck, you've got the world card number 21. They call it the world tree, but it's an ending of a cycle, beginning of a new adventure, stepping into the next stage is what I'm hearing. You do have 3 cards, then 1 card, and then 2 cards, which shows that it does unfold out of order. And so normally it's 3, 2, 1 or 1, 2, 3, right? But it's 3, 1, 2. So um, it's like it starts off here and then you jump to the finish, but so if you look at 3, 2, 1, right? 3, you would jump from 3 to 1, skipping over 2. But then you have to go back to 2 before this new step. I feel like this is where you're at, and you're facing the middle at the end. Which, it's like, yeah, things kind of happen out of the order, the way I thought it would. It's unfolding. So this is where you started off with, the journey, death and rebirth. So you started off with a big change before, and the Ace of Bows, another ace, a beginning card. Ace of Bows is a new passion, a new energy of leaping forward. And the Five of Stones, the Five of Pentacles. They call it endurance, which the Five of Pentacles was a change or a belief in lack. It feels like you had started on this journey where you were excited about it. It was a significant change with it being the Death card. But I feel like something that was holding you back was this belief. It could be an underlying belief in lack, of not being enough, fearing abandonment, fearing being left behind, not having enough kind of energy. And then you leaped to the end, the new beginning of the Wanderer. So you've been through this before, but you're going to a new level that's more of a celebration energy, because the Wanderer, the 0, is what follows and restarts your whole journey through all the major arcana to get to the world card again. So there is this beginning and ending. You jump to the end, and now I feel like you're working through the middle, which is, you have the 2 of Wands. What planning am I doing here? And the 7 of Bows, 7 of Wands. Yeah, this empowerment that comes in here. It's like you skipped a step last time, and now you're beginning this new adventure. But the 7 of Bows, 7 of Wands energy is a lot like the 3 of Pentacles, in that I want to be true to my authentic self. I don't want to dim my light. I don't want to ask permission to shine. I want to not have to defend my choices, but I want to move forward. And the 2 of Wands is, I get to decide where I focus my energy. Am I going to focus on what everyone else wanted me to do? or am I going to do what I want to do now? So I feel like you've been doing what everyone else has wanted you to do, and you've been achieving these things, but it's empty for you, and you're realizing, I feel like a little bit of the fickleness of the, what is it, the carrot before the horse, where the carrot keeps on, it keeps, the goal keeps getting moved, the carrot keeps getting moved, and after a while you look at that carrot and it's all dried out and it's got flies, it's got mold on it, it's been out there for forever, always being moved. You haven't been able to get the reward from all this giving and achieving that everyone has wanted you to do, that you've done. And I feel like now you're ready for like a, what about what I want? Because obviously, I'm not getting the reward I thought I was promised, or I felt I was supposed to get from the outside world. So now what do I want for me? Kind of energy. I like that. Underlying energy under these, you have the three of arrows. Yeah. Here's the expectations equal disappointment. It's on fire. These are all the, well, I've hit the target, and it's like, sorry. And look, it even looks like it here. Like if there's a bullseye and you're hitting them, it's burning down. It's, the reward is gone. It's like, well, what was I supposed to get from all this? And that's the thing. All those expectations that we feel we're trying to live up in the outside world, they feel disappointing. Either we feel disappointed in what we're expecting, or other people are disappointed. It's like, it's not enough. We need to go do more. It's always more, right? Where's all this leading you to? You got the Ace of Arrows. Yep, a lot of clarity, a new beginning around what you're wanting to do here. And I feel like this is an important chapter here for you. But I feel like you're ending an old cycle, um, of what you were taught growing up. We call it people pleasing, right? We all do it because we all want to survive as children. We are kind of conditioned and brainwashed and doing what everyone else has told us we're supposed to do, and be who we've been told we're supposed to be, and blah blah blah. But this is a stepping out and being yourself, kind of energy. Let's see what else we got here for your fortune cookie as well. All right. Nope. I wanted this one. Yeah, I like that. One card popped out and I was like, oh, this is it. And they're like, nope, this is what you're wanting. So told that this is something that you're wanting, but you're rediscovering what you really want in life. And you got the pomegranate, number 29, the all-seeing eye. Dare to taste the unknown. Let it seduce your spirit awake. Wow. Interesting. Let's see what this is here. So pomegranate is about pleasure, forbidden fruit, seduction, and there's a little bit of sexuality in here too. Whoa. But it says your higher self chose this card because you are ignoring the things that could show you the path to your purpose, to more rewarding relationships, and to unrealized talents or new ways to experience fun. There is some debate about the fruit eaten by Eve in the garden. Some believe it was an apple, while others believe it was a pomegranate. This superfruit's connection to the story is what invokes its alignment with temptation. And sadly, the story of Eve leads many to believe their desires should be denied instead of embraced. Wow. That's what we were talking about, right? What do I want, not what everyone else wants for me. Each desire is a clue about what will bring you fulfillment, joy, love, success, and all other high vibrational emotions that are yours to claim. By denying your desires, you are denying what makes you you. Wow. Pomegranate encourages you to allow yourself to experience everything that is within your heart. Try new foods. Take an unusual path to a familiar place. Travel. Speak to someone unusual, and do the things that scare but also excite you. In doing so, you will discover the freedom to experience your full self without limitations or boundaries. Wow. Talk about aligning with the message. Boom, boom, boom. So that's what they have for you, CJ. I'm excited for you. You are very welcome. I love it. I love it. I love it. Boom, boom, boom. You get to say
N-O, no.
to whatever you want. And of course, yes to what you want to. All right. So thank you again for your donation. All right, Sean G, we're circling back around here for your additional donation. All right, and your questions over here. So A's thoughts and feelings for you, on you, towards you. All right, let's shuffle these up. Gonna take a quick sip here. Cheers, everybody. All right. So what are A's current thoughts? So I do want that. I feel like these are emotions. What is all this? I do want that one. I do want that one. I do want these. Okay. What else do you need to know here? Tell you what. Like your last message on this one, the bottom, you got the Queen of Vessels, Queen of Cups. So you got that in your last one. It wasn't the underlying energy. The underlying energy on your other one was the High Priestess, right? But they're bringing back, because you got the Queen of Vessels in your reading, which is about trusting your gut, trusting your emotions regarding individuals. Allow your spidey sense to give you information. And I like that for you, trusting that. So let's take a look here. What are their thoughts first here? So we've got the Five of Arrows, conflicted thoughts, Capricorn energy coming in. And then you also have the Eight of Arrows, a lot of thoughts, and flowing thoughts. So they still have some conflicted thinking, which means their heart is in battle with their head, but they have been letting go of some of these limiting thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that don't serve them anymore. So there is a lot of thinking here with arrows are the air energy. Let's see what the underlying energy is here. The Page of Stones. So there is this wanting to have this new opportunity. This is what they're conflicted about, this new opportunity to get together again in the future. But there are still conflicting, but I like that they're working on it with that Eight of Swords. That means they're making some progress on letting some stuff go, some old projections they were putting on you from the past. So they're letting this go, but their heart and head are still a bit conflicted. Let's see what their feelings are coming in here. Yeah, I think we've got all these tens. You got the Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Wands, which is an energy of, that they could see how, this is for us. And the Ten of Bows brings in a little bit of fear energy. On one hand, when you add these together, when the Ten of Wands comes out with a Wheel of Fortune, it's about seeing this not as a burden, but as a harvest. Look at how much you have. But I also feel like where the conflict is happening is the head is going, but what if we fail? What if we, there's all this energy it's investing into not meeting up to the expectations and falling short, falling short, falling short. Let's see what's underneath the surface here too. Got the Knight of Bows. So a lot of attraction energy. So there's emotions here, but there's a lot of passionate, energetic, physical attraction energy underneath the surface of it all. And we'll see what these other last two cards are here. But when I get this kind of feel and this kind of message that's coming in here, it just feels like I don't know how to truly express my emotions. And I've been disguising it as passion and attraction and action and motion versus emotion. Like I haven't learned how to communicate my emotions, allow myself to feel. I tend to just skip on past things instead of dealing with them. And so I do feel like they've got a lot of below the surface, which makes sense. That's why their mind still goes into this fight or flight mode, keeping the heart, no, 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 you can't go down that road. No, 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 we gotta wait. We gotta take it slow. I don't know. It's scary down that road, kind of energy. Let's see what these last two cards are here too. Yeah, we got the shaman. So they do want to take action and step forward here with that. Um, and the King of Stones, King of Pentacles, energy that comes in here. So I feel like they do want to try to step forward here. I just feel like they're waiting to get a more solid. It's like I'm building my courage up. Um, and it's funny with the wolf howling at the moon. That's the kind of energy of like what I would say is the Knight of Wands, which is you know when the moon is full and my animalistic, I can't stand it. I'm howling at the moon. I'm something besides my mind is in charge. I feel like that's when they reach out. That's when they get their bravery, which is okay. It doesn't mean that we have to. We can talk and everything. It doesn't mean I'm gonna, be a booty call or whatever. But I can talk. But I feel like that's when their courage is up around full moons. That's when they get up the courage to reach out and step out. We just had a new moon on Sunday, so that's our next full moon in Aries, I believe it is, and it's a super moon, I believe. That's coming up. So I do feel it'll be around that Aries full moon. All right. So that's what we have for you, Sean. And I gave you your fortune cookie on your first one, right? So thank you for your dual donations. I greatly appreciate those. And enjoy your adventure. Just if you look through the peephole and they're all hairy, don't answer the door unless you want some to go woofy. All right. So that's what we have. I think that's it for my donations at this point. So let me make sure here and grab the free readings, and we'll start on free readings here. And then if I get any donations, I will step out to complete those. But let me make sure here. So we did that one. We did those. We did that. We did that one. Right. Okay. Okay, we did those. All right. And there's Livier. Let's grab that. Boom, boom. Okay, we did those. We did those. All right. And then Melissa. Hello, Melissa. Let's grab yours here. All right. So I've only got like 5 or 6 free readings here. So we will get to all of these. Hello. All right. So we've got Musical Beer and then Touch of Love and then Ateshi and then Cat Goddess. Look at she's a little whoop, whoop, whoop cat with its earphones. And then we have Livier and then Melissa. So that's where we'll go here. So Musical Beer. Let's grab your timestamp. There we go. So Musical Beer. I want to know a nosy read. How is the relationship of Christoph's and Emily? Are they getting married? All right, let's take a look here. Are they getting married based on current energies? Okay, that one. And don't want those. I don't want those. Get into the skinny. This is behind. Oh, this is the below the surface. I get it. So are they 3 of Stones, 3 of Pentacles? It doesn't doesn't feel like it's getting that far yet. We have the moon energy here, which is there's a lot of emotion flowing below the surface. So there is a lot going on with all this, being true to their authentic selves. Three of Pentacles, it's like they're building something here because this is about creativity and building, um, taking times to let the emotions bubble to the surface. So I do feel, um, that there is a possibility. I don't feel like there's a that they're not, but I feel like there's more of a building energy here than there is a we're to that point. I feel like in their hearts with this moon energy, there's so much moon emotional energy. I feel like they both kind of feel like maybe in their hearts that maybe this is the one kind of energy below the surface, but I feel like there's still some work to be done in that area. So hopefully that makes sense. All right. So I know that's not a very nosy read, but there is a little bit with that Three of Pentacles is I want to be true to my authentic self. I want to make sure I know who they are and that they know who I am before we go further. And okay, if you want to get into a little bit of nosy tea, which we all have this, right? There's pieces of ourself that we keep hidden that we are like, maybe this is a deal breaker for some people. Like, you know, I like to be spanked. I don't know, whatever. I'm not saying this is what theirs is, but or that this is mine either. But that's the first thing that came to my mind. Because people are like, oh, you what? But you're like, all right. I had the picture of if you ever watched oh, what's Sheldon? What's the one with Sheldon in it? Third Rock from the Sun? No, I don't know. It's the one with Sheldon and uh, when because I saw an outtake with Sheldon and um, oh, what was his girlfriend's name? But she was sick and she was like over his knee, and they showed how many outtakes it took because every time he spanked her, like oh my, and they would both laugh, and she's like Sheldon, he's like stop, because they had to keep doing it over and over again. But I mean, I just feel like there's some things that each of them haven't like totally come forth yet, and that's one of the things they want both each other to know my true authentic self before we get married. So I feel like they're still discovering each other in a way. So hopefully that makes sense. Right. That's what they have for you. So many blessings. Whoa. All right. And then touch or love, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. Hey, Kathleen, good to see you. Adding you to the list there. So, touch of love, you want to know what does Spirit want to say to you about your living situation and your person? Will you get moving in with your person? Okay, so will you be moving in with your person? So, what do they want you to know regarding that? So, based on current energies, what can we know about that living situation here? Okay, got that. Don't want any of those. Don't want any of those. Don't want any of those. So, what else? Nope. Okay, this one. I was like, why is there so many? It just feels like there's some, I wouldn't say uncertainty, just confusion or a lot going on in their minds. So let's take a look here. What does this look like? Yeah, we got the High Priestess, which the High Priestess, right now, it's going off by themselves and seeing things from a bigger perspective. So that's like the Hermit energy, which that isn't a not yet, coming together energy. And we have the pole star, the star card here, which is in one, it's about a way of seeing things from a different perspective. But it is a dream come true kind of energy. So I do feel like that is something that they're looking at that um, would happen, could happen. Um, could is even that's kind of energy. It's like, oh, yeah, that's something that could happen because I feel like this commitment energy. There's some fears that come in. They start off with their heart going, yes, absolutely, we could possibly, maybe, as we're going to the head, move in together someday, just not yet. It's like it's like the heart is on the way to the dessert table, and the mind comes and takes them off course. Oh no, you don't. Not yet. You have to eat first. We have to have the 10-course meal, then you get the dessert. But there's like a journey going in there. So I do feel like it's something that it's like hope energy that is like in the cards of what they could see. I could see that happening. The heart really is all in, but the mind is the one that brings in the doubt. This noodle is the one that causes a lot of our discontent and throws the wrench in things because it wants to feel safe. And if it is like, oh, I don't know, this is change, this is different, there's resistance that happens from the inner child through the mind, but even though the heart is like, yes. So hopefully that makes sense. That's what they have for you. Touch or love. Then Ateshi, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. There we go. And Atesh, you want to know what is HL's current energy towards you right now? All right. Okay, thank you. What else? This one. What is their energy towards you? Yeah, do we get this from before? We've got a bit of hesitancy with the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Stones is an energy of the fear of abandonment, of not being enough, being left behind, abandoned, left out in the cold kind of energy. And the King of Wands is an energy here of trying to decide what it is that I really want and, what I want to have come true, you know. And that's the whole thing, is trying to figure out that they have all these people telling them what they should be, what they need to do, supposed to do, blah, 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 all that stuff, right? And they're trying to get that out of their head so that I can decide what it is that I want. Um, but this Five of Pentacles, all these beliefs that are bubbling below the surface of the fears of being left behind, of failing, of being rejected by people by doing what um, not doing what they want to do, or not doing what they want us to do, kind of energy. A feel of fear of failure that's coming in here. Um, so there's a bit of that hesitancy, this being in the in between, going back and forth, trying to figure out what I really want energy that's coming in here. But this fear of lack and fear of not being enough, not having enough, is really prominent there, which isn't like necessarily so directed towards you, but that they're conflicted shows that they have this emotion for you, but they also have all this fear that's followed them all their life on what they should do and not do and supposed to do and all that. So there's a bit of that going on there that's kind of keeping everything kind of frozen and like fight or flight, right? I'm frozen. I don't know what I want to do. I don't want to make the wrong choice, so I'm not making any choice, right? That's the kind of energy that's coming in right now, Teshi. So I know. Did they bring up before? Because this is what they're replaying in my head, and I think I might have shared this before. If someone doesn't know, like, well, I don't know if I want to be with you or not, or if I want to pursue it or whatever, I'm like, okay, well, don't worry about it. I'll decide for you. You can just not worry about it. You go. I'm gonna live my life. What? Because I'm like, if you're not smart enough to know that this is a catch, like you being a Teshi, like that this is a catch and that I would be like a gift for you. If you can't recognize it, then you don't deserve it. Whoa, you won't appreciate it. So bye, bye. Anyway, so that's what's coming in. All right. Okay, so that's what they have for you, Ateshi. And then Cat Goddess, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. And what can you potentially expect in the month of October, right? Based on current energies, what is it that Spirit would like you to know? Okay, this and this. So you got the Eight of Vessels and the Green Man, the Emperor. So you got the Emperor and the Eight of Cups. It's an interesting combination here because, of course, the Emperor is like the King of Wands, which we're just talking about, which is all about I get to decide, stepping into my authority, realizing I'm the one that's in charge of my life. I get to decide, in this case, who is in my life and who is not, and where I'm investing my emotional energy. So I do feel like in the month of October, I feel like you are doing releasing. You're realizing emotions that are pushed below the surface that don't serve you anymore, that you're choosing to let go of. And also relationships with people, meaning it can be romantic, it can be family and friends or coworkers or whatever kind of relationships, tons of different relationships with tons of different people. You're realizing, where is it that I've been investing so much energy and getting so little back? Like I'm consistently giving 70, 80, 90%. And this person, as long as it's an adult, right, giving only 10, 20, 30% back consistently. I'm the one that's keeping this relationship alive and I deserve more. This like kind of energy. I deserve more. This is a bad investment. That's not that there's good or bad. It's just a poor investment. It's I deserve to have 50-50. And of course, if it's some days I'm only giving 20 and they're giving 80, and some days I'm giving 80, they're 20, that's a healthy relationship. But we're talking about the ones that are consistent where you're always giving more and you're like, you know what? I'm just going to back off. Some of them you already are. Yeah, I know who I'm letting go. Psh, psh, psh. I don't. These relationships, they've been in a coma for a long time, and it's that sounds bad. It's time to unplug them. It's time to let them go. They're either going to breathe on their own, or it's time for them to, go on to something a better adventure. Not with me, right? Um, and then there's others like, well, I don't give it a chance. I'll back off to 50, give them a chance to make up the difference. And if they start doing the equal giving and receiving, making it more, then they can do it. If not, then you just let it drift away because it will. If they don't make up the difference and you stop investing as much, the relationship just starts to, and then you can just take everything back. But all of this is in preparation because you're building up your emotional bank to where all that energy you're investing there, all the energy you're using to push down old emotions, all of that you're doing the month of October is filling up your emotional bank, which means you have emotions to spend on something. They're preparing you for a big purchase, either a passion project, or if you're not in a romantic relationship, it can be meeting someone new. Or if you're in a relationship, it's about taking emotions to a new level. So I like that for you. All right. So that's a little tidbit for October for you. So wah wah wah. All right. So many blessings to you, Cat Goddess. All right. Olivier Vergara, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. There we go. So, uh, may I ask, how will things go towards your mom's application? Will she receive positive news from the new appeal? All right, let's take a look here. So, based on current energies, tell us about moms. What's the results of this new appeal? All right. Well, we got the Queen of Vessels and the Two of Bows. Yeah, this has so much to do here about energetic choices. Queen of Vessels is she rolls over the emotional energy. So I feel like this is, such an important realization that whatever your mom's emotional choices are hers, and whatever she focuses on the most is what she's going to get, right? So if she focuses on, I have a lot of fear about this isn't going to work out, or this has to, all that lower vibrational lack energy, then she gets that, right? But if she's focusing on gratitude for what she does have and what she has had, right? We talk about that, right? It's all about her energy that's coming in here. And I get it. My mom's Pisces energy, and I talked to her. In fact, I was just chatting with her earlier before I went live. She's just giving me an update on what's going on with the family. She lives up all near the family. Um, and I learned over time that it's okay. I used to think it was wrong for her to because Pisces will swim in the bright side of the pond or the dark side of the pond. They generally don't so much swim in the middle, not a tail in the dark and a head in the sun. It's, one or the other. And I used to feel it was my job to make sure she would go to the sunny side of the pond. Then I realized that's her journey and her adventure. It's not mine to control. Even though as children we're growing up, you made mom mad, you made mom sad, or you made dad mad or dad sad. We're taught we're responsible for other people's emotions, and we're not. Everyone can make their own emotional choices. And of course, we would love for them to have the greatest experience in their life. But how do we know that the experience they're having isn't the best for their life, for learning and growing and what they wanted to experience as their higher selves? Because, if they weren't experiencing what they are, um, what else would they be experiencing? Basically, what I was trying to say was that if they wanted to experience something different, they would be. And then it's like you just kind of release their life to themselves, and you take back all that wasted energy of trying to make someone be happy and going, I can't make them happy. I can only choose my own happiness. So I focus on mine and giving love. And then whatever they go through, I just give them love, but they're the ones that are in charge of their choices by their energy. My energy can't make something good happen for someone else. My energy can only bring stuff to me. Their energy only draws stuff to them. So hopefully that helps. I feel like, they didn't give us a real answer here because I feel like it teeters and it goes back and forth here. I like that mama bear on the bottom. Mama bear trying to protect things, right? That's both you and her, right? But there is this energy of, I feel like it's more focused on the fears and the dark side of the pond right now. So she's drawing in dark kind of side of energy. But in the morning, she could be bright, light, and whatever. So it's just, I feel like it is this. I used to think my mom was bipolar until I learned astrology with Pisces. Then I realized, no, it's one or the other. It's her energy is what, because she can be like happy and then I'm like, where's the middle? It's like, nope, it's one or the other that comes in there. So so that's what they have for you, Olivier. You did, Sean. You missed it. Can't believe you. How did you miss it? I was on a train. There you go. There's your timestamps. I can pick on you because I live thousands of miles away. Otherwise, I wouldn't. I don't mess with fire. All right, so that's what they have for you, Olivier. Sorry, thank you so much. All right, so Melissa, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. Boom, boom, boom. And you want to know what are Joe's? You're always on the train. I know. You're on the move. She's mobile. That's why people should be scared. She's not sitting still. She could be behind you. All right, sorry. So, Melissa, what's Joe's current thoughts about you? You're in a relationship for 10 years. Okay, let's take a look here. So, what are their thoughts about you here? We'll do one for thoughts. I feel like we also want to just check their emotions too. Check with their heart. Okay. Because these are two separate beings. We could feel a certain way, but we have all these, the noodle, whatever. So their thoughts towards you right now. We do have the Nine of Stones, the Nine of Pentacles. There is this sense of independence that comes in here. But it's more like self-sufficiency. And so there is a sense, and this is why, when we're looking at the mind, it doesn't mean that they don't love you in the heart here, but their mind is very kind of, I don't want to say like inner focused. It's so funny. My mom just texted me. I looked down, but I was just talking about her. Oh, hi, Mom. I love you if you're watching this. She's like, oh, how dare you? But I feel like there is this mentally it's just like a how do I explain this independence kind of energy. I'm doing my thing, you're doing your thing. And mentally it just feels you know not existing sounds too bland, but it just feels like it's just working, you know we're going through our lives kind of energy. Doesn't feel conflicted, it just feels like I'm doing that's the only way I can say it. I'm doing my thing, you're doing your thing, kind of energy. That's what they're kind of going within their mind. Um the heart, yeah, we got the Six of Arrows here. Um and the Six of Arrows, the Six of Swords is about and again, it feels like their heart is pointing to their head because the arrows is air energy, thinking energy. But it's about letting old things, old ways of thinking going, new higher ways of looking at things, going from choppy waters to calmer waters. It's transition, it's transformation that's coming in here. And it just feels like, I don't know if it's stagnancy that I want to change things up. Um, it's almost like I want to reactivate passion. I want to reactivate and get things going. it's it kind of doesn't look like good or bad. It just kind of looks like it's existence. I know I said it's not existing in a way, but it feels like things are. They would like to reignite things in the relationship because I feel like they feel like I'm doing my thing, you're doing your thing. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it makes sense. We've been together 10 years. It's like, yeah, it's time to spice spice up things, do things like we used to. If you guys aren't doing a date night, if you guys aren't, at least every 2 weeks, it doesn't have to be weekly, but we don't want to like, go crazy or anything, but having like a reignition of relationship kind of energy. Because it just feels like, like I was saying, you're doing your thing, I'm doing my thing. But I feel like, where's our thing? Where's our thing? Is kind of like this message is what's going on inside of them. And it's not like they don't I don't feel like this separation energy. I feel like they feel like it works, but it feels like there's space in between and they want to bring that, right? Yeah. I mean, based on current energies, it just, we were asking where they are at, right? So I didn't pull cards about where your relationship and stuff are going. So we can always do that. If you want to make a donation, we can dive deeper into that. Or if you want to come back, I'm on Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights from 6 to 9 p.m. If you want a free reading, and Saturday and Sunday, I just do one free reading per session. So I didn't really ask that. I'm thinking more from their standpoint. This is what their thoughts are around it, is that they do want to uh, find out where's our life, because I feel like you're living yours, I'm living mine. We've gotten into this, kind of thing, um, which is great. So, something that can help things be good is maybe bring up, I would like to do something, and you can do it in this way. Think of things that you love to do with them before, and what things they love to do as well, and say, you know what, I was thinking about it the other day. I was thinking about when we went and blah blah blah. I'd love to go do that, and they'll be like, yeah, let's do that, right? That's you can do that, right? That can help. I like that. All right, you are very welcome. All right. And so Crescent Moon, hello, hello. Crescent Moon, I just have one more free reading. So if you don't mind, I'm just gonna finish that up because that um will be all the free readings for this session. Well, unless I get more, because we're still only a little 2 hours in. Oh, here comes Swarber. Okay, never mind. Sorry, Kathleen. I will be back to yours, Kathleen. We will get to yours. But we're gonna do Crescent Moon first. All right, so Crescent Moon, thank you for your donation, because donations do get priority. If you did not know, so thank you so much for your donation. Let me just grab this and put this over here so I see it. All right, let's give that a love and a like. Good evening to you, the number one PI in all the land. You're so funny. Oh, you haven't put your quest out here yet. All right, we'll shuffle up here. I know you're tapping it out, so thank you for your donation. Make sure I don't have any over there either. Let me take a quick sip here too. All right. All right. What I'll do here, just no pressure. I'm going to just remove that timestamp real quick here, just for the sake of time. Yep. Yep. You take your time. No pressure. So, Kathleen Hughes, we will do yours here. No pressure at all. I got a couple other free readings to do while I'm waiting, so you're good. So, Kathleen, you want to know what are Adam's next moves towards you? Ooh, all right, let's take a look here. Based on their current energies, what are you looking at? What are Adam's next moves? Move. All right, we got this. We got that. All right. Wow, so we do have the Leo energy here with this is the strength card. And we do have the Six of Arrows, the Six of Swords, which is about a movement from and movement in transition energy from like choppy waters to calmer waters, a change of mindset. But I really getting like movement, and this strength card, of course, is finding my inner courage to step forward and it mainly, I feel like here with the Six of Arrows, because it's a change of mindset, but it's also communication, and so I feel like their next energy here has to do so much around more communication, more talking, more balanced communication that's coming in with all of this here. It's interesting because the normally the strength card is number 8. The justice card is number 11, which is the balancing thinking of thought, which that energy is coming in here too. But it's like I'm trying to understand things before I take new physical action, passion action. It's more mental, some more talking, more communication kind of energy coming in here more than anything. Even though Leo energy is a little bit of passionate energy, it is fire energy there. But that's why I feel like it's like, but before that, I need to balance things out. I need a better understanding of who you are and who I am, and what does this look like? Kind of energy. So there's kind of a hesitancy, but it's I want more communication, I want more understanding, more clarity before action is taken. So hopefully that makes sense to you. But it just feels like the lion in them wants to move forward because there's physical attraction, energetic attraction. But this interesting mind energy is, I want to understand this first. So hopefully that makes sense to you. But that's what's coming in for you, Kathleen. So I know what's going on. What's going on in their head here? Well, we did enter Libra season, which rolls over the house of relationships, the 8th house. Libra is a mind energy. Libra is the scales. So it's like they're living this Libra season energy. I want to understand things. You're like, where did that come from? But they could be very influenced by that. So hopefully that makes sense. Right. So that's what they have for you, my dear, my dear. So many blessings to you. Right. And then we will jump to Swaroop Bobby. You are up. Let's grab your free reading here. Right. You want to know what's coming towards you for the next week. All right. Let's take a look here. So we've got this, and we've got the bottom of the deck. Let's see what we've got here. All right. Well, there's a choice coming in here. You've got the Two of Pentacles, which has to do with two choices in the outside world. And you have the World card, which is an opportunity for a significant ending to a regular cycle of doing something and choosing something different. And I feel like that's what these two choices are that are coming in here. I feel like I can continue to do, it's like you come to a fork in the road. I can continue to do what I've always done and, choose to go to the left, go to the left, go to the left, go to the left. I always go to the left, or go, you know what? I'm going to try something new. I'm going to go to the right. Let's see what comes in here. And there's this, it's like taking a different route to work, and you discover all these things that you didn't know were there before. And I feel like that's what's coming in here. It's like breaking an old cycle, doing and choosing a different thing than you would normally choose. It's almost like it's encouragement, because I feel like you're being brought a lot of opportunities next week, um, of forks in the road. And it's when you have a groove that we've, through repetition, have always chosen one way. It's like but this feels like something in the physical world, going to a different place, going to a different, do I want to live somewhere different? Do I want to work somewhere different? Do I want to be with someone different? Do I want to hang out with different people? Do I want to go to a different place than I normally would? It's that kind of physical choices in the outside world. And I feel like it's a great week to try new things, to go different directions, different routes, different choices, because it'll bring you different and higher um, results for your life, something that just feels like you're living instead of existing energy. So I feel like that's what's coming in for you, Swaroop. So hopefully that helps a little bit there, but some opportunities. We'll see what's coming in. So many blessings to you. That's what they got for you. All righty. So that is where we're at. So it's in a moment here, we'll move on to crescent moon. Find out what kind of tea we're going to get into this evening. I'm drinking a chamomile lemon tea. Yum, yum. That is now more like iced tea because it's cooled off over the last couple hours. So we'll make sure we pull you a fortune cookie too. Yay! All right. So crescent moon. Let's grab your timestamp here. Boom, boom, boom. This is where your reading's officially starting here. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So thank you again for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. So earlier this morning, you learned of something that was a bit surprising. Since Sagittarius you never fought or left things on a negative note, I texted them this update. You never fought or left things on a negative note. Oh, that's good. At least from your perception, right? So you'd like a read. Did Sagittarius get the text? For some reason, am I blocked? Their thoughts and feelings when they read the text. All right, we'll take a look here. So number one, did they get the text? So we'll just pull a card for that first. All right, thank you. So let's take a look here. We got the Six of Vessels reunion. That's funny. Six of Cups. Someone coming back from your past energy. So I do feel like they got the text here because that is not an obstructive energy. It's a flowing energy, right? I like that reunion. You can't make it up. All right. So let's take a look here. And the Six of Cups is that energy of past people from the past coming back in. All right. And then their thoughts on the text. So they did get it. So their thoughts, look at that. And then their feelings, the feelings. Don't want those. I do want those two. And then these over here. All right. So let's see what we got here. Let me just move these over. There we go. Bottom of the deck, we do have the Seven of Cups. So yeah, I figure that's what these last two cards are. It's probably going to be action. So there's a bit of a lot of different emotions coming up in here. Wow, and underneath that we've got the Forest Lovers, the Lovers card. So we'll figure out. We'll see what this is about here. Because I don't feel like this morning. It's not morning. This is like it just brought up a lot of different emotions, which we'll find out here. So we'll see what we have here. So thoughts were first, right? Yep, thoughts. Let's see what their thoughts are. Oh, yep, Eight of Arrows, Eight of Swords, next to the Knight of Vessels, Knight of Cups, emotional movement energy. So the Eight of Swords is about, letting go of thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that don't serve him anymore. And I like this. It's a flowing mental energy around emotion that has come up here. Let's see what this underlying energy is. Yeah, we've got this cards come up a lot. We got the strength card, Leo energy underneath the surface, fire energy. But there is this confusion with the 8 and the 11. So I don't know. Have you guys not talked in a long time? in a while, because I feel like it with this emotional confusion, there's a little bit of mental confusion too, and they're trying to balance out their mind here. But the Knight of Cups did bring up, it did create emotional movement, which we'll find out more about that here too. Okay, so that makes sense because as you probably weren't in here when I was talking about this. The normally the strength card in the original tarot, it is the 11, and this is the strength card. In modern times, they switched it to, and I don't know why. I'm going to research it probably later, but I know they changed it where 11 is now the Justice card, mental balance, and the strength card is number 8. That's why I feel like there's mental confusion. It's what things mean. What does this mean? What um, what's the purpose? What is going on? Is and are they reaching out to me because they're wanting movement of heart? Is this what is that? What analyzation, right? So their mind is all about, okay, am I looking at this right? Is this what they want, or what do they want? I'm not sure. What does this mean? I don't know. What's below the surface? I feel like even though you sent them like an update, I feel like they're way reading, but trying to read between the lines, trying to figure out intent and what's the reason for this, and because they're kind of taken like, oh, you know. So let's see here. Let's see what the emotions are here. We have the Page of Vessels, happy otter energy. We like that. So, and the Page of Arrows. Wow. So this is clarity coming in here. But I like this. The pages are heightened mental and emotional activity, but the Page of Cups is happy energy. So it was like that, but it also got their mind spinning. Um, of course, right? We're like, whoops. All right, let's see what the underlying energy under those are here. Yep, 9 of Cups. Very big, happy. The heart was like, woohoo. That's, of course, the dream come true energy that comes in here. And the 3 of Vessels, joy. So much joy. I mean, you got when we're asking about um, their emotions are just, was very happy to hear from you with all this energy. So they like all this update. They liked all this here, but then it did create the. I don't know if you ever had these little toys. Um, at least they had them later in life. Not when I was a child, but uh, like in my teenage years, we saw people with, they had these little guns. They'd put this little spinny thing on it, and they'd and then you'd click it, and it would bzzz, and it would go off. That's what they're showing me. Their mind. It was like wow, and then bzzz, it would spin off and go flying off, in a different direction. So I feel like they had a great amount of emotion, but it makes sense that it's really. Uh, I would say, as far as ADHD, they would probably call it overstimulation. Whoa, I can't. So I feel like they have to like kind of come out of that. Um, what action will be taken as a result? Let's take a look. We have the Knight of Arrows, so movement of communication. So I feel like they will respond to that here. And the King of Stones, King of Pentacles. Howl at the moon. It's funny. We yours is the one that we get always air moon energy, right? Just because here's the not that the it's just that the full moon with all this air energy coming in, but I don't feel like it's going to be a full moon. That's a week and a half from now, a week from this Sunday. Well, no, that's the full moon, but But I feel like they will get you'll get a quick response in here from them, if tonight even. But um and that makes sense when they calm down. King of Pentacles is about a solid foundation, very earthy energy. Once then I will respond, but I feel like they have to reach their calm point. But I feel like it I have to sit and think for a minute here, kind of energy coming in. Interesting. But I like all this joy, 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 joy. So definitely the heart. I mean, three huge cards of joy. And we know that their mind is what takes them off into, you know, the overthinking energy. I wish we could find out if you don't know what their moon sign is. No upsetness. This is all happy energy. It just has got them thinking, reading between the lines, and you know, um, so no, happy, 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 happy energy, not any upsettedness. It feels like because they're the ones with ADHD, right? Because I feel like I'm just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, this is so great, so great, so great, and then the mind starts taking over, and they start going on 100 different tracks all at the same time, right? And it's just like, it's like I don't remember who it was. I think it was one of my cousins. We went and visited him when I was a teenager back back east in Illinois, and I think they lived on a farm, and they had chickens, and they go watch this, and they put the chicken. The chicken was looking at him, and they went like this. The chicken was looking, and they went, and the chicken just froze because it can't follow it. Both it didn't know to go left or right, so it just went, and it kind of just. We walked away from it, and the chicken just stood there breathing, and it couldn't move because it kind of froze their brain for a minute. That's what I feel like happens when there's like 100 different train tracks that their brain went off on because of the emotion sparked so much that it just sent them in that. We'll see what your fortune cookie says here too. What else can we know about this? What else do you want to know? Here we go. Just thinking, here's more moon energy. And I'm like, it totally makes sense why they're always talking about the moon, because you're all about the moon, right? And look, we got the crow, number 11. Here's that number 11 coming in again. And crows, air, all this air energy again coming in. Isn't that hilarious? Pay close attention to the winds. There's a message making its way. All right, let's take a look here. I know, isn't that great? Look, there's even a crescent moon on her neck. There's a little moon medallion. All right. The key words are something's coming, messages, pay attention. Can't make it up. So your higher self chose this card because a message is coming your way and is warning you to keep an eye out for important signs and clues of what's to come. Nothing truly manifests without some warning. The signs might be subtle, but they have been prompting you your entire life. You might feel a sensation such as a tingle in your neck, or perhaps a decision gives you a sense of dread. You might have an idea that instantly lifts your spirits, or feel some electricity when you meet someone new. All of these sensations are clues that attempt to steer you toward a rewarding life. Yeah, you can't make it up, right? So pulling the crow card is a sign to trust in your intuition, especially in the coming days. You may be quick to dismiss your feelings as being silly, and perhaps they are in many societies. However, you're connected to the spirit realm where all things are possible, and the only right answer is the one that gives you a feeling of peace, joy, and success. Trust in your ability to read the messages of the universe and know there is always a pathway to safety for those who know where to look, right? Whether the message coming your way is good or bad remains to be seen, but look to other cards within your reading or select additional cards for more details, which we already got all those other cards of joy, 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 joy coming in here, and I feel like they will reach out to you here. It says adjusting your antenna. It would be best if this exercise could be performed while standing or sitting outside in nature, although it can be done anywhere. Place your palms on your jawline and your fingers cupped over your ears with your thumbs under your ears. Take a deep breath in and out, then repeat the in and out breaths, but this time lift your fingers from over your ears, leaving your palms on your jawline. So go like this, I guess, like a fish. It becomes an open door, closed door situation. To close the door, you cover your ears by cupping them. Then you open the door by lifting your fingers away from your ears. Continue to do this as you take deep breaths for at least 1 minute, then sit in silence for 5 to 10 minutes and receive your message. I like that because I feel like you get messages from spirit, but I feel like doing that is like I'm opening, I'm open to hearing, I'm open to hearing. And it's like having that kind of energy that comes in there. I love that. So I do feel like you'll receive a message like that. Whether it's good or bad is yet to be seen, but I feel like with everything, all the readings we've gotten before, I feel like it's going to be a I feel like they're just trying to figure out how to reply because well, first they have to understand and calm down and get grounded, and then they'll be able to rattle off incoherent messages back to you that you're going to be like, wow, they're all over the place. Be prepared to jump tracks, right? Which is funny. I like that. All right. So I feel like that's what they have for you for that one, Crescent Moon. So, yeah, yeah, yeah. I love that for you. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. All right. Oops, I don't know how to type. Come on. Wrong parenthesis. There we go. All right. Sudeshna Ghosh, you are up. Hello, hello. ×2. Here's your timestamp here. So thank you for your donations. You got game over. What's this about? Okay, next 96 hours for you in detail. All right, let's take a look here. So 96, that's four days, right? Is that 4 days? 96 divided by 24. 24 is 48. Yeah, 48, 96. Yeah, that's 4 days, right? Okay, take a look here. Asking for a friend. You're funny. Oh, how can you find out their moon sign? Yeah, if you don't know if you know their date of birth and you know where they were born, we don't need the time always because you can pull a chart like at noon and see how close their moon is to another sign. Because if it's like if it's not close to the cusps, then because I normally would do like 12 a.m. like that morning of their birth, and then the middle of the day of their birth, and then the end, like, of the 11:59 p.m., because then you see, did the moon change signs, and well, generally you'd be able to look and see what their, what it would be. But if you don't know where they were born, then, you know that's hard, because it can be, you know what if they were born in Germany, and then they moved, if this is the United States, if they moved to the United States, or, you know we don't know, right? So if we know enough, we could usually finagle it a little bit. Too funny. All right. So sorry, Sudeshna. And we'll do times 3. I'll change that for the pin comment, but this will be for all 3. All right. So the next 4 days, what do they have for you? So day 1, what do they want you to know? Boom, boom. Day 2, I feel boom, boom. Day 3, boom, boom. Day 4, boom, and boom. And what's the overall energy going on here? All right. All right. So we'll look at those here in a sec. Bottom of the deck, you've got the 3 of Cups. Joy, joy, celebrating. Groups? Is this when are you going to go on this little weekend? Is that's what's coming up here? Because this is all about joy, celebration, gathering of my tribe kind of group. So definitely it feels like overall energy for the next 4 days is joy, joy, joy. Of course, if you choose joy, you can have joy. If you want to have a miserable time, no one's going to stop you either, you know, with whatever you want to experience, right? So I like that. They like, if you choose joy as much as you can, focus on what you're loving and enjoying, you'll have a great time. If you focus on what's not happening, right? Or what, oh, I'm expecting all this stuff, you're going to have disappointments, right? So, you have that. All right, day 1, you got 2 cards here. Yeah, you've got, oh, you can't make it up. You've got here joy and celebration gathering again. So this is like the joy card that's coming in here. And you also have the world tree, which is another victory celebration energy. So your first 24 hours feels like woohoo, very exciting, very the beginning of a new adventure, the reaching a new place of, but it feels victory and celebration kind of energy. Um, the energy of the first 2 days, you have 1 card, and then for the second 2 days, you have another card. So for the 24 and the first 2 days, first day is joy celebration. The energy for both days, then we'll look at day 2. You've got the archer, yeah, the chariot, celebration. Again, all the celebration energy and victory energy. So, and it's power of choice energy too. So it's like you can have this major joyful, joyful, joyful energy, but try to stay out of your head about how you think things are supposed to go. Enjoy what is, and then you have a really, really great time. So I like that. Day 2, you've got, um, let's see, card 14. Yeah, that's the Temperance and the 5 of Vessels, 5 of Cups. So we do have Temperance, which is be patient. The 5 of Cups, I feel like there's drama on day 2 based on current energy with other people. And I feel like this is an opportunity here of, if I am patient with everyone, just letting everyone experience and be what they're going to be and whatever, but don't let it steal your joy. The 5 of Cups is I can change my energy from not lower, but have higher vibration emotions through this. So I do feel like day 2 is an energy of balanced energy. It kind of feels like day 1 is like woo woo woo. Day 2, I feel like everyone's kind of maybe tired. There might be some little drama, little chattering between one another, but you can not feel like you have to get involved in that, and just be patient with everyone, knowing that it doesn't mean anything about you. Whatever is going on, I'm gonna choose to have a good time, right? So I like that. Day 3 and day 4 energy underneath, you have the Knight of Stones. Knight of Pentacles, it's slower moving, which makes sense. Day 1, there's all this excitement and go, 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 but then it kind of just slows down. It's like, okay, good. It's not so hectic feeling, which I feel like I can take a breath on day 3 and day 4. Day 3, you have here the Great Bear and the 10 of Stones. I like that. Very positive, solid energy. 10 of Stones is the 10 of Pentacles, which is about feeling successful, feeling a full life, a kind of energy. And the Great Bear is the Judgment card, which is seeing things from a higher perspective. It's like the calling, understanding who I am and what I want. And there's this, I feel like day 3, you're kind of really sitting with, what does a full life mean to me? Because I feel like you're surrounded by all this stuff and, people and, friendships and relationships, and talking about jobs and education and blah, 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 and what's going in situations that are going on in life. Everyone's sharing everything. And then the things and body and bank accounts. It's like we feel like we're full of a lot of stuff, but it feels like almost a little empty, in that it's like I I'm going to choose, or I'm trying to see it from a different perspective on what does a full life mean to me? Because I feel like you're hearing a lot of everyone sharing stories about what is life fulfillment is, what is everyone's future plans. It just feels like there's this kind of energy that's there, um, kind of stuff going on there. But it feels very fruitful and very, like, I almost feel like you're doing a lot of reflection because of a lot of external stuff, if that makes sense. Day 4, you got the Queen of Vessels, the Eight of Stones. Yeah, Eight of Pentacles, Queen. So this is like your heart with the Queen of Cups, basically. And the Eight of Stones is the Eight of Pentacles, which is about, I feel like day 4 is this energy of, I know I'm going to follow my heart. I'm really excited about learning and growing and transforming into something. So I just feel like this weekend brings a lot of clarity for you here over the 96 hours. I feel like you have a chance to really gain a lot through reflection, hearing other people talking about things, where I just feel like you end up going, all right, I know what I want to do. It just feels like you come out of the weekend with a clearer picture of what you feel you are wanting in life. So I like that for you. All right. So hopefully that is detailed enough there for you. And we'll wait on your fortune cookie here for another one here. I don't feel like they want the fortune cookie for this one. Or do they? No. I was like, not yet, not yet. All right. And then for number 2, thank you for that, the superhero one. So does T want to go with you during the Durga Puja? Will we go out? How's the energies and what can happen? All right, we'll take a look here. All right, so to see. Okay, so first, does he want to go out with just you during this? Right, that's that energy there. Okay. Will will you go about based on current energies? And how's the energies and what can happen? Okay. All right, we'll take a look here. So overall energy on the bottom of the deck here, we do have the Three of Swords, which is expectations equal disappointment, heartbreak. Doesn't feel like anything happens between just the two of you. When I asked, does T want to go out with you? We have the Five of Swords, which is conflicting energy, but there's frustration energy. So it doesn't feel like it here with that. I don't feel like, that's a conflict. It's not a flowing kind of yes energy. Let's see what else we have here. Just see if we get anything else. Will you guys go out? The Page of Arrows. I feel like there'll be conversation, but I don't feel like it's with just you with this Page of Arrows. Let's see what this what are the energies? Yeah, see the Three of Vessels, the group, the group, the group. And I feel like this is the energy we had kind of before where they're focused not on wanting to go out with just, one person, but as a group, yes. And I feel like you guys may have conversation hanging out as a group, but not individually with this energy coming in here. What can happen? We have the 10 of Arrows, 10 of Swords, which is a lot of expectations being released, or the feeling, the pressure of a lot of expectations, right? Which usually the 10 of Arrows is someone laying down with all these arrows stuck in their back, kind of going back to the, expectations equal disappointment energy that's here. I wouldn't expect anything to happen, and then whatever happens, happens, and it's good. It's kind of like your first reading in a way that's coming in there, right? So I feel like there's not a whole lot of um, wanting just interaction with you, but as a group. Um, so hopefully that makes sense. All right. So that was it for number 2, and then number 3. Thank you for the little dancing sticker there. So you want to know, will you go out and have any plans for the 27th of September for the outing with your school or college friends? And how will your health be during the whole thing? Okay, of course. As always, health questions. See the disclaimer, right? I'm not a licensed medical professional, so tarot is for fun. So check mark. You know all that. We've talked about it every time you ask for a health reading. But I just have to say it for YouTube and for United States. So first of all, will you go out and have any plans for the 27th? So based on current energies, let's take a look here. Okay. That's that. Will it be with your school or college friends? Let's see. Okay. I was going to go if we got the joy card, that would have told us. But we'll take a look here. Is it with school or college friends? We'll do it this here. Well, I'm just going to answer. So, yes, you do. With the sun card, that's a victory, a brightness, energy card that comes in here. So I like that. It feels like a yes energy. Is it with your school or with college friends? I got the Page of Vessels with, or is that school or college friends? I feel like it is, because you've got the we've got the Page of Cups, which is happy, joy energy, and the Six of Swords, which is about change of mindset and movement of mind. So that does tell me this is going to be with your college school friends that comes in here. I see now that it was just more college school, right? But and if there's a different, if your college friends are different from your school friends, or if there's an overlap, I feel like it's going to be a mixture. There's just but there definitely is schooling energy here and fun. So I like that for you. Um, and then how will your health be during here? What else? What about health here? Okay, I've got here and advice. I feel like we have here. Okay. Yep, you've got the stag here, which is the justice card in this deck. It's normally the strength card, but I like that, the combination, because this is balance. I feel like it's like your health will be balanced as long as you stay balanced. Make sure you do that. Let's see what the other guidance is here. Yeah. Queen of Swords, balance between head and heart. You have the Nine of Arrows, Nine of Swords, which is nightmare and insomnia. Um, and the Hermit, the hooded man. So this is about making sure to take the time for you. Don't overdo it. And, with these two nines coming in here, the Nine of Arrows, that's like the expectations card. And so, of course, their guidance is like they have told, previous reading tonight, is let go of expectations. If you want to have a non-stressful, the most joyous time possible, then get out of your head and into your heart, right? Not how, well, I want this to happen, and this is what should happen, and this is how people should act and not act, and it's what people should say and not say. We're going to have a lot of like that three of hearts that had the three arrows that in it, and it's on fire. It's going to be disappointing because people are going to be people, and people are going to do what they're going to do. We can't control any of it all, but we can control our choices, right? I get to control the story of what I'm putting forward, right? I get to control the the emotions I want to feel, the energy and the actions I do. Can't control anyone else's. So as I used to say, to people, and it was the new year or whatever, happy new year. And if you don't have a happy new year, then it's your own damn fault because you're choosing. So have a great time. And your fortune cookie, overall here, you have Scarecrow. Yeah, here's the three. It's all about groups for you here. Card 34. Remember that you are not alone. Move with confidence as you are guided. I love this. Let's see what this brings in here for you. So this is Guardian. You have help and support. Your higher self chose this card because you need to be reminded that you are being looked after, taken care of, and protected. You may feel as though there are many dangers lurking about, and while they may be near, they will have little impact on your life as a whole. You can move forward with your plans, knowing a favorable outcome is in your near future. Well, there you go. You may feel the presence of your spiritual guardians through a sudden feeling of warmth spreading through your body, a tingling on the back of your neck, or a sense of peace as though suddenly all your troubles have washed away. These are similar sensations. These and similar sensations are your guides sending you support and confirmation that you have cosmic help working on your behalf. Trust in the cosmic forces and know that the timing may not be what you're expecting, but it will always be right on time. There's that expectations. Scarecrow may also present itself to you when you have been facing a particularly difficult situation that seems too great to face on your own. Receiving this card is your confirmation that physical help is on the way and you won't have to struggle for much longer. You may receive an unexpected windfall, a call from someone offering support, a chance encounter, or a life changing opportunity. I love that. And there's a scarecrow affirmation, which is I am guided, I am supported. I walk in confidence, knowing all as it is should be. I am safe, I am protected. I move with ease, knowing all is as it should be. That's letting go of control and expectations, right? It's all is as it should be. And I don't need to worry about it, right? So I love that. And scarecrows, of course, crows, they all hang out in murders. I think that's what a group of crows is called, but they hang out. And so just know this weekend feels like all about being with a group, but let expectations go and enjoy people for who they are, and you'll have a blast. So I like that for you. So that's what they have for you, Sudeshna. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your multiple donations. All right. Okay, very good. You're very welcome, Touch of Love. So glad you enjoyed that. All right. So, Crescent Moon, we're circling back around for you for number 2. Let's grab both your timestamps. Hey, Jojo. Hello, hello, my friend. Welcome. Good morning to you. All right. So we'll have your 2 after this. All right. So Crescent Moon, thank you for the behind the scenes additional one. So I love you too. All right, so you do have their date and location. So you're gonna do some extra research. That's funny. You are a PI. Aha. We have our vase. All right. So, uh, okay. So, what's the likelihood that they'll reach out tonight, and what will their message be? Okay. All right. Let's take a look here. So based on current energies, thank you. What's the likelihood? Knight of Arrows. Can you believe that? Came flying out. That's what you got before, didn't you? Okay. So I feel like it's going to be highly there. Let's see what else they have here. Okay, let me just start with these because I just have to show you. So the Knight of Arrows is movement of communication. So I do feel like it will be tonight. Because isn't that what you got? And then the 8 of Stones, 8 of Pentacles. I feel this is all about transformation. I feel like they'll give you kind of an update too about their transformation, the changes that are going on in their life, kind of things too, right? So I feel like blah, 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 blah kind of energy that will come in there. Let's see what else. More details. But those are the 2 that just came flying out of the deck. What else? Got that. And then these. All right. Yeah, it might be late because we're waiting for them to kind of balance out. But here's the Leo fire energy again, too, on the bottom of the deck. So there is this courage, this energy, fire energy that's coming in. But again, when's their emotion? That's what they got with that below on the bottom, right? Because I just remembered. Well, they just tapped it in my head. The difference between the 8 and the 11 in the original, from the old tarot to the new tarot, how things have changed. But this is the mental. Once the bzzz calms down, then they'll reach out. So I'd like that. Let's see what else. What is this message is about? Yeah, Page of Arrows. More chatting. More communication. But pages are like higher level too. So I just feel like it's this feels like it's later because that's like an 11, maybe more like 11. Because that would be in 2 hours time frame where I'm at anyway. It just feels like 11 is important, but I feel like they're doing it mountain time because that's my time. That's funny. 11 p.m. your time. and wherever you're at, adjust. That will be 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States. Let's see what else they have here. Page of Vessels. Yeah, here's that happy, happy energy. So good to hear from you. I think we got that in the previous reading too. So sharing that, the joy. So good to hear from you. Da 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 da. But all this page energy coming in here, which we got a lot of that in your first reading too, I believe. So it's all this heightened about change. We got the Three of Bows, Three of Wands. It's interesting that I feel like, because the Three of Wands is with new information. It doesn't even feel that way. It's usually with new information, we take a different route, but I feel they communicate with you in a different route. So I don't know if you texted them, if they'll text back or if they'll email or message you some other way. But it feels like they do it differently than expected, which is probably normal, right? And then we have, here's the new beginnings, my new adventure energy, and the Ace of Arrows. Again, um, new communication. It's all about the newness. I feel like it's going to be all the conversations of all these new starts, these new beginnings, this new this new that, and oh my God, yeah, my life, everything's changing right now kind of energy that comes in here. So, um, but again, this ever changing energy, it's all dependent upon them calming their mind down. I don't know why it's interesting because, you know, someone I know with ADHD, that's a Sagittarius, um, in order for them to shut down their mind and go to sleep, they take some sort of sleep aid that allows them to go to sleep. And I almost feel like, because it's going back and forth, where I feel like they want to respond in doing this, but then I almost feel like they need to go to sleep and they can't keep their mind awake because they take their like sleeping pill or whatever, sleeping aid, and then they're like, and I feel like they'll respond in the morning. So that's why I feel like it goes here and then goes here. It goes here, it goes here, goes here, it go here. So it's like by 11 p.m. tonight or 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. It just feels like there's this window of 11s, which is weird. But again, it's like, oh, whoop. It's always that way. It's always that way. Too funny. So hopefully that helps, Crescent Moon. So that's what's coming in. So thank you again for your additional donation. Greatly appreciate that. Right, Jojo, you are up. Look at this, 31313. Can you believe it? Can't make that up. All right, so let's give your first one a love and a like. Thank you for your dual donation. So the first one, what were the orbs that O saw in his apartment last week? Aliens. And there were probes. Just let him know. I'm just kidding. What? Oh no. Too funny. All right. So let's take a look here. What were the orbs that O saw in his apartment last week? Okay. Got this. Got this. Got that. I think this is overall energy, but there's other energy. Okay, we'll see what all this is here. Yeah, I do feel here. We've got under the bottom of the deck, we've got the Temperance card, which these two dragons on here, I feel like it's showing me duality because of the two cups and the two dragons that are normally on the card here. I mean, dragons are normally, cups are normally on there. But it feels very like two big orbs were spirit guides, and I feel like they were dragon guides. Just these dragons really stood out. I feel like they're dragon guides, which are a special. Um, they, I mean, we all can be anything on the other side, of course, because we're so many different expressions. But dragon guides will present themselves because it's almost like they're ancient, angelic beings in a way that are in search of higher knowledge, and they love to impart and help people with the knowledge. So, two dragon guides, I feel, were there, and there's two cards. Let's see what this is about. Yeah, we have one with the Wheel of Fortune. Interesting. With the Eight of Stones. Yeah, I feel like this energy that they're bringing in here, these are like the teachers, the bringers of wisdom. And I feel like these both, at least one partially, one fully. Okay, that's what they mean. Really have a lot of to do with their akashic records, with the wheel's fate, and the transformation, and the stages of what they're going through. So it's like they're kind of, one is in the akashic records, the other one kind of connects with them, and they're kind of acting as an intermediator between this. It's almost like a librarian, this um, dragon guide librarian, Kashik record librarian, bringing in past knowledge through this other dragon guide who's kind of relaying the information, but they still speak up anyway. But they're letting this other dragon guide kind of take the lead because it's part of their growth. That's interesting. So they both are there to help support their journey and O's adventure coming in here. So I feel like that's two of the orbs. I think there's three sets of, like, those two sets of orbs, and then there was one orb was here, the nine of bows, the nine of wands. There's this fire elemental spirit guide. So so far all three of these are fire, I mean, spirit guides. This one's the fire elemental, which is in charge of their journey, of their energy and their actions. And this one is, they've been holding them back from going somewhere for their protection. Let's see what's underneath here. Yeah, the moon energy, because there's some unseen things that is not, available there. So, you know, we definitely have this, they're protecting O from going forward in something because there's some unseen things that O doesn't see that they're keeping him back from doing, because it would um, not be beneficial for them, and so they're holding them back their from moving forward in whatever that is. So it's their fire elemental. So there's a lot they wanted just to appear here to show them all that. So far, we'll see what the third. So far, this will be three orbs. This would be a fourth orb. Hey, Sudeshna, yeah, they're all together, one after another. So all three are together. I only put times two because at the time you had only made two donations, then you made a third one. So I said, I'll just put all three of them together. I just didn't I didn't delete your timestamps and add it back. So just so you know, they're all one after one another. All right. So let's see what this fourth one is, which is the Green Man. Number 4, the Emperor energy. So this is very masculine energy. I thought there was going to be one that was someone from the other side. So this is a masculine energy, someone very authoritative, whether it's father or grandfather. It's that kind of feel around it. Yeah, we got the hooded man. Someone who was pretty much like a loner when they were here. Wow. Got the world card and the sun card. Wow, 4 major arcana. Sun, Leo energy. That's here. That's what they're here for. I get it. So it's someone that was pretty much to themselves a lot when they were here, but now they're acting as someone um, helping guide the path, helping ending old cycles, beginning of new adventures, um, helping them realize, um, like helping O realize their true authentic self and this. I just feel like it's like encouragement to be true to yourself, shine bright, don't dim your light energy. And so I feel like that's a lot of what they do is they give a lot of loving, encouraging energy and memories, and they try to bring things forward. But it is someone that's on the other side, very strong masculine energy, but it was very much kind of an introverted energy, it feels like. Um, and that makes sense because they were kind of introverted where they kind of shrunk themselves, and now that they're back on the other side, they're like, I want to help you so that you don't be like me, um, out of fear kind of energy. So hopefully that makes sense. Underlying energy under all of these, their big message, the 4 of Arrows, to bring peace of mind and to help let go of expectations so they can feel free from things. So I like that overall. That's the Orb clan there. So that's what they have for that for you. And then we'll do number 2 here. Come on. Put the cards back in here, and we'll do your fortune cookie on number 2 here. So number 2, let's give that a love and a like here. You want your most recent obsession. With Michael Jackson, are you soul related? All right. You're very welcome, Kathleen. All right. So let's take a look here. Are you soul related with Michael Jackson? So what we have here, what do they want to know? I want you to know here. Obsession. All right. Oh, so the bottom of the deck, you do have the 3 of Vessels. Interesting energy here. I tell you what, I mean, this is a card for me that represents like the spiritual posse, which can bring like spirit guide, soul guide energies. So the higher self of Michael Jackson, um, there is ties there, which is great. Um, but it's interesting. We'll see what else comes in here because all this joy and celebration and um, energies of all this entertainment energy. It's almost like I think we've talked about it before, a lot of past lives. You were in a traveling um, performance troupe, right? You'd go from town to town um, and in different places. And I'm seeing like in the Orient when they would put on the masks and you know bing 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 bing. They're doing all that sound in my head, all the banging that they do and on the drums and the clanging cymbal noises and all that. It's like you were always in entertainment in one way or another, singing, acting. In some ways, that was like you guys love to do. Even see you being a jester in with a royal in a lifetime because of the entertainment. You were part of all of that entertainment as well. Interesting. Let's see here. More specifically for Michael J. Yeah, you got the Six of Stones, Six of Pentacles. This balancing energy. Let's see what else is here. The balanced energy of the Temperance card. All this balance. I like it. They're saying yes, but don't let it go to your head. Balance, because there's a large group of us. I like that. It's like a thousand member choir. Just know, like when you went to your big performance, it's like, yeah, but there's so many of us. So don't let it go to your head. That's funny. Eight of Vessels. Yeah, this flow of emotion. All this very balanced. Again, four on each side, balancing energy of emotions. We got the 10 of Vessels, happiness, joy, joy, joy. Again, this 10 energy. It's all about this flow. And then the King of Stones, the King of Pentacles, which is a very grounded energy. And they help balance your life. They help bring balance into your life as well. That's one of their big um, what is it, when donations, no, it's like a word like donations. It's how they're participating. It's their part of how they help you on your journey, because they've learned a lot about the imbalance of things and the importance of balance. And so they help try to bring in this balanced energy so we don't go and take things too weird. That's funny. They go, I experienced out of balance in this lifetime, so I'm my I keep on wanting to say proposal, but it's not proposal. My Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. Their part that their participation in your life is to create balance and flow energy too, balance and flow, because balance in all things, including balance, but for the most part. Uh, we'll see what the fortune cookie brings in too. But I definitely feel that there's like a large group of souls that are all focused on for their human expressions. They love the entertainment industry and singing industry. So I like that. All right, let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here. All right. Yep. Shape shifting. Oh my gosh. Doesn't that look like I'm black? I'm white. Oh, it does. He started off being African American, ended up being a white person, right? Because of the thing that he had. That's funny. But it reminded me of his song. Because didn't they have like the masks black and white in there? That's hilarious. Anyway, uh, shape shifting. Transformation is not the loss of what once was, it's the evolution of a more powerful self. Wow. Keywords are adaptability, transformation, and evolution. So uh, it says your higher self mistake. Michael Jackson chose this card for you because you are evolving, my dear. And this card is confirmation that all of your hard work and challenges are worth it. You are beginning to see what all of your recent hardships have been for and how they've shaped you into the person you are now becoming. It's never easy to experience loss or setbacks, but at least you can take comfort in knowing they were preparation for your developing greatness. Your recent circumstances have made you more wise and practical and better prepared and able to manage tough situations. Your level of what's possible and what you're capable of dealing with should be expanded now, and you can enjoy the additional layers of complexity, which only give you more interest and experience. Hold your head high and step fully into this new expanded reality. Rather than complaining about what you've lost, shift your focus on celebrating what you've gained. Pat yourself for making it through, then begin to imagine what you can do now that you have less baggage weighing you down. Isn't that another one of his songs? Maybe not. Maybe so. But I like that. This is such a great card. All right. So that's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your dual donations. I love those for you. All right. Let's see. We did all those. So, Kathleen, you're sitting in the park after running an errand. Oh, good. Grounding. Good to know there's still a want for the physical, tangible stuff. Also sounds like he's maturing. Yeah, right. So I love that. So you're very welcome. Thank you so much. All right, Alice, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. And thank you so much for your donation in the rainbow. And a message from any of your higher being angels, especially the ones in charge assigned to your mission on Earth. All right. Yeah, if we could see how many, because we have 4 elemental spirit guides that that are in charge of 4 different areas of our life. We've got, of course, our guardian angel that's with us every lifetime and our entire being. Then we have a whole bunch of others assigned for different parts in our life at different times, and ones that'll be always for our full lifetime in this lifetime. Some that change throughout lifetimes, some that stay for a lot of lifetimes. We just got so much support. It's crazy, and I love it. So we'll see who wants to step through here. All right. So who is coming through? Can we know that first? I love that. They like to do that for you. Who is coming through here? I feel like there's a couple at least. I knew there was 3. So there's 3 coming through specifically. We'll see which ones they are and then what's their message here for you. Look out! Cards falling everywhere. Luckily, none of them fell on the floor. That's good. Okay, now this one, and this one, and this one. Okay. So, who is coming through? We got the Queen of Arrows. So, this is your air elemental spirit guide. They're in charge of your mental adventure, your knowledge, and your learning. I like that. And your brain. You have the 9 of Stones, 9 of Pentacles. So your earth elemental spirit guide, okay, they help you, of course, with your physical body and your physical signs in the outside world. And then also the Page of Arrows. This is someone, this wren, they come to you as a bird. This is someone coming from the other side, but there's someone that passed over. Someone was here, went to the other side. This is it feels like a younger feminine energy. So it would either be like a maybe a cousin or sister, someone that felt like a sister. It could even be like a best friend. But it feels like they passed when they were in maybe their late teens, if that resonates, because it feels like, or maybe early 20s, but they felt like they were. It's like they go, I always felt like I was never mature, uh, never matured beyond 19 kind of energy, if that makes sense. But they're all three coming in here for you. The bottom energy of what they're wanting to bring in here, we've got the moon card, number 12. No, that's not the moon card. That's the hanged man. Sorry. She's because she's holding a moon. Number 12 is the hanged man, which is about they're drawing you up to see things from a higher perspective to give you a clarity, to see things from a different perspective, which makes sense. Um, these two cards came out together. You got the Queen of Vessels and the Lover's card. Both of these have to do with, of course, emotional energy. But I feel like this is interesting because one, there's this message about emotional choice, and that just know that you always have the power to change your emotional choices, what you're feeling. So you always have the ability to change your emotions. And if you're having trouble changing emotion, then that could not be your emotions that you're picking up. Queen of Vessels, Queen of Cups, very empathic. They're telling you about these other, you know, four places you feel emotions. One, all the emotion of the outside world. When you're empathic, you can pick up a lot of that. So it's important to learn to build a bubble that keeps emotions. It's a clear bubble, so you can see the emotions and kind of touch them and feel them. I do like a jello mold where the emotions get stuck. I can touch them, but they don't get on me. Um, so you can feel those emotions. The emotions of the outside world, and then there's emotions that you're feeling in the moment by what's going on. And then there's the emotions of your inner child, that feeling the emotions of the outside world can trigger going, ooh, 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 I feel that too. And then you can feel it coming up within you. These you can transform, yours you can transform. Those of the outside world, you can't change their energies. So that's why if it's something that you feel, no, this isn't mine, that's out there, I can't change that, but I also can let it not impact my choice of how I want to feel. And then the fourth place is our subconscious, our emotions from our other lives, our past lives, our future lives, our other lives that we're doing. That's where they all flow. And we could be picking that up too, especially this year where all of our access to the Akashic records and subconscious have been so elevated. You might be picking up some of that. So if you're feeling something, you can take a big deep breath and is that out there? Is that here? Is that down here or way down here? So we can look at that. So I feel like that's a big piece. They want you to help you understand and see your emotions from a different perspective to help you understand them more so you don't feel overwhelmed by them. And then you have these three cards. You have the archer, yeah, the power of choice there. So definitely coming in here that not only just to expand, not only are you choosing every moment how you want to feel, you can't control how everyone else is going to feel, but you get to choose how you want to feel. You also get to choose the story and what you're applying to whatever's happening in the world because it's meaningless till it gets in the noodle and then we tell it what it's ourselves what this means. But we can also tell it something different, right? We're given a lot of opinion on what that story is supposed to be, but that don't mean that's the one we have to choose. Same with our emotions, our energy. I get to choose what I focus on. I get to choose my physical actions. So I don't, I'm not at the whim of the outside world. I get to choose. I feel like this is a big message of choice. Yeah. And changing your story, Six of Arrows, seeing things from a higher perspective, letting go of old stories, applying higher vibrational stories to things helps you transform and move from choppy waters to calmer waters. Yeah. And stepping into your power with the King of Bows, the King of Wands. Again, there's a lot of this. You've been given a lot of opinion in your life growing up um, around, all of those things. But the King of Wands is realizing you're the king in kingdom, whether you're male or female or however we identify. we're all the kings in the suits, as well as the queens and the knights and the pages. We're all of them, right? But there is this energy here of I get to choose what I want. And we can get caught into, if you imagine like a throne room full of people that are all blah, 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 blah. No, this is what you're supposed to do. No, this is what you're supposed to do. No, this is what you're supposed to do. No, it's loud, it's overwhelming. Everyone has different opinions. Finally, we're like, wait, I put the king and kingdom. Everyone, please clear the throne room. Leave your opinions on that box on your way out. Thank you, though. And then as you get into the heart, right, and go, what is it that I want? Then I make a plan, action behind it. But all of this is about stepping into power and stepping out of opinions of the outside world, realizing that's all it is. There are no rules. From spirit standpoint, there are no right or wrong choices. There's just different choices with different outcomes and different experiences, but none is better or worse, right or wrong. They're just different. And if I don't like something, I can change it. So I like that. Let's see what your fortune cookie comes in here for you as well. All right, here we go. What else? They have Ghost Whisperer. There you go. Card number 18. Be still in the whispers that ebb and flow in the silence. Ooh. Keywords, messages, warnings, and guidance. So this is them giving you all these messages. So your higher self chose this card because it represents the receipt of messages, especially those that come from someone in your past. There you go. There's that third person. You may have a chance to find closure, or you might reconnect with someone who was once meaningful to you. Have you been thinking about someone in particular? Perhaps an ex or an old flame has entered your mind recently, so consider reaching out to them. They may need to speak with you about something important, but don't have a way of contacting you. A simple conversation or even just a small talk can open your eyes to a clever solution to a problem that has plagued you. This person may become a permanent fixture in your life. Oh, when pulled with Witch's Gathering, card 42. Well, we only pulled one card. So I don't have to worry. Should this card fall from the deck in reverse? Oh, it didn't. All right. So that was just, but it didn't come out that way. So we don't read the reversal on that one. But I like that they are bringing you signs and to trust your intuition with that Queen of Cups, because that also you can also get emotional messages from the other side. And picking that up too. I guess that's the fifth place we receive emotions too. Wow, it's just expanding. I think that's about it. Yeah, because from the spirit world, yeah. So hopefully that helps, Alice. That's what they have for you right now, my dear. Thank you so much for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. And I did complete all of the free readings already. So that is it. And yeah, we are almost at 4 hours. So we will shut down here. I just want to make sure everyone knows. Soon I'll be having my official first episode of my new podcast, The Easier Path. But in the meantime, the intro is out there and there's a giveaway. If you make a comment on that intro video, this is in the description box of this video, but I just posted it in the chat too. If you click on that, it'll take you to that video. If you comment on there something that you're grateful for now or in the past, then I'll enter you into a drawing for October 1st to win a personal recorded reading from me, or a Hedge of Peace and Love if you prefer that. Also, for the rest of this month through October, I'm having a sale on my personal readings. The 15-minute reading is at $7.77, and my 30-minute reading is at $15.15. So if you're interested, again, there's a link for there, but all of it's down in the description box as well. So I just like to make sure everyone knows when there's a drawing and specials going on. So no expectations, just information, right? All right, everybody. I'm going to head off. I'll be back tomorrow night as well, Saturday night, and then Saturday and Sunday morning as well. So until I see you guys again, remember every second of every day of your life, you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the mother and father of all things, our creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you again, much love. Hang in there. Take care of yourself. Remember, have some fun. Because why are we being so serious, right? All right. I love you guys. We'll see you soon.